Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tombs of Scoria. I'm Koibu. I'll be your DM for the evening. We have a great show for you. We have had a couple of weeks without one, so I am super prepped for everything that we might need. But before we hop into why don't we run the gamut of people and see what everyone's been up to, starting with Lucas. What's up, Lucas?
Just been streaming, playing Minecraft now, trying out the speed run, and hanging out. Nothing much.
Nice. All right. What about you, Mr. Nicholas?
I got a new chair, which, for those of you who've been watching Neal's shows for the last 4 years with me in it, will appreciate no excuse. So that's nice. I've been playing Total War Warhammer too. Neal, you need to get on that, I'm telling you, it's so good.
I picked
really
up
is.
XCOM again. Sorry.
It's a lot better than the first Warhammer Total War. You should give it another go.
Okay. Maybe. Maybe when I finish Long War 2.
Other than that... Nah, fuck all. Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. All right.
Nothing.
Sweet.
Oh, we're in full lockdown again, so I haven't left the house barely in like 2 weeks.
I hear you. What about you, Steven? How's that streamer life?
Just chilling. Things have been pretty crazy, but yeah, we're seeing how all things resolve, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. At least the fires are over. Mostly.
Well, what depends on the fires you're talking about, but the physical ones are over, yeah. A whole bunch of new ones are starting, but yeah.
All right. Where last we left our party, we were in the capital. You guys had been talking about where you wanted to go, what you wanted to do, and I believe you settled on Vlad Ormor's tomb in the Draken Waste.
Yes.
That's correct.
Right. So let's talk a little bit of history on this, because you've been chatting with Clurtus, and he's needed to give you some background on what's going on. So he will tell you the story of the Crusade of Vlad Ormor. You're going to need to zoom way out on the map to like 50% or something to see what I'm about to show you.
Oh.
Vlad Ormor, in the year, somewhere around the year 500, brought together a group of about 1,000 dwarves out of the western part of the Hemdorkas Hills, way over in Eridon, which my arrow is pointing to, if you can see.
Yep.
These dwarves went on a crusade all the way through Eridon, down through Matava, across the Voden Plain, and settled the 3 free cities, Gold Hill, Roxas, and Drunsbar. These 3 cities that I've circled on the map have no connection to anyone else. They're completely independent and one of the only places that are truly independent. I think the map is missing on stream. So these 1,000 dwarves came through here. They lost some people in Matava when they had to fight the big green dragon there, which we can talk about another time. They picked up some humans in the Voden Plain, lost a few more dwarves along the way, had to fight the warlords. Finally settled in Gold Hill. After a couple years in Gold Hill, some of the dwarves wanted to move on out, check out the rest of the mountain range, because there's probably other great deposits around. So they left Gold Hill, leaving about half the dwarves behind, went through the Laconish Highlands, skirted the Elven territory here, where they picked up some halflings and humans, battled with the elves in the woods. Vlad Ormor himself died on this stretch of the journey. His son took over, brought the rest of the population to Roxas, and then about 20 years later, some of the remaining people made their way to Drunsbar. That's more or less the short version of the story of Vlad Ormor. He is a significant figure in history, having settled these 3, or responsible for the settling of these 3 free cities, which have been important to the area and important for industry and mining. His tomb, as we've mentioned before, is said to be somewhere in the Draken Waste, and you have been fortunate enough to be next to the Queen, next to what's his name, Clurtus, who have been able to find out the exact location.
Well, that's helpful.
It's very helpful because it's sort of a mystery where it is out here. But the Clurtus will tell you that the Queen has worked a little bit of political magic and gotten the location from a wizard of some repute who used an invisible stalker spell to search the Draken Wastes in search of this tomb. You found the location more or less exactly. We should describe the Draken Waste. The Draken Waste is like a flat desert but it's got these like big rifts in the ground that crack it apart. And the rifts can be, a couple feet wide or dozens of feet wide. And they drop maybe 50, 60, sometimes 100 feet down into the ground. So it's these like really narrow canyon walls below a flat, barren desert. And it's down in these canyons next to the rounded mountain, which is how the Invisible Stalker described it, that the tomb is. It's the crack closest to the rounded mountain. However, the tomb of Vlad Ormor has one more problem with it. Its construction is a little bit of a legend because it was made with a very special lock on the front door. The front gate to it, which it's been described more as a gate than an actual door, is made with an unusual lock of dwarven design that prevents it from being picked or opened via a knock spell. And it is the key to this gate that you need to get first. The key is known to reside in one of the 3 free cities, and no one's quite sure which one, but one of the 3 free cities.
It's never the first one, so it's
Yeah.
the second and the third.
So that's Gold Hill, Roxas, and Eurobar.
Runes Bar.
And so something you didn't mention in your little tale of Vlad the Crusader here. My sources tell me, and I'm no expert in history, Cletus, that not all the dwarves have such fond memories of Vlad, and that it was, in the early years, amounted to somewhat of a slave state. Is that true, or is that just vicious rumors?
Well, that is somewhat true, yeah. I believe the people that he left with were predominantly enslaved dwarves on his crusade, among with some other free ones. I can't speak to the human population, but I assume if they're enslaving dwarves, and they probably enslaved humans along the way, maybe that's the human population there? Not now, at least. It seems that they're all free individuals at this point in time.
Yeah, but are we going to run into any trouble going around asking about the key to Vlad's tomb?
Oh, absolutely. If it's still there, no one's going to want to give it up.
I would assume it'd be with one of his descendants, correct? Do we know which city they reside in?
Well, let's see. Vlad himself founded Gold Hill. His son founded Roxas, and it's not clear who founded Druinsbar. Some of the other people that left Roxas, mostly humans and halflings and half-elves at that point, and a few dwarves went to Druinsbar. Most of those dwarves then came back to Roxas once Druinsbar was settled. It wasn't to their liking.
And did Vlad's son build his tomb, or was he constructed many generations later?
Originally, he was interred in Roxas for about 20 years. And it seems that at the time that the population of dwarves and humans and halflings that left Roxas for Druinsbar, that was the same period of time in which Vlad Ormor's son built his father's tomb.
So, I
My
mean, it
guess
could
would
have
be
moved,
Roxas,
sure,
yeah.
but the key is less likely to be in Druinsbar than Gold Hill or Roxas.
Quite, yes.
Do
would
we know
expect-
do you know what it looks like? Do you have any details about the key that may allow us to use magic to find it?
It's said to be large, metallic. I think it's somewhere. He shrugs. I don't know if it's make, but whenever it's talked about in the few stories that it is, it's mentioned as like a large, heavy key. So I would expect something on the order of 10 pounds at least.
Interesting.
And the lineage of his son, does that reside in Roxas as like leaders of the town still?
His descendants led the town for generations, but they switched to a council style rule instead of a thane style rule due to their strangely mixed population. Roxas has many humans, halflings, and half-elves, even a few gnomes living in it.
And a descendant, I would assume, is on that council.
I would assume so.
What's the most defended city of the 3?
Probably Gold Hill, but for different reasons. The Mystrians the war that's going on, they have they've conquered Gold Hill. So Gold Hill is currently occupied by the enemy. Druinsbar is the only walled town of them all, but both Gold Hill and Roxas are built deep into the hills. I think Gold Hill has some sort of, like, the pathway is blocked by a river that is blocked by a dam, so the road can be flooded if there's an approaching army, something like that.
Smart money Roxas first, then we avoid the Mistrains, and it seems more likely than Druinsbar.
It would seem like Roxas would be the best place.
Can you, real quick, can you circle the, I see where Gold Hill is. Can you circle Roxas and Druinsbar again? Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay.
That being said, though, how do we get there? You know, like, because if we're going to sail up the river, Vodan, we'd get to Gold Hill before Roxas.
Is there a passage through the Rosewater Mountain area?
There's a dragon in there.
We need to talk to the dragon
Azeron the
directly.
Blue lives in those mountains. The range, as far as I know, is impassable. And more problematic, the bridge at Bridgegate has been destroyed by Scoria. Red. So crossing the River Voden would be difficult. Crossing the Draken Ridge, also difficult.
How many people know of the existence of this key and tomb? Is this like a well-known thing? I'm sure the tomb is known, but the key itself?
You know, it's not spoken of too heavily. I would expect it to be few people outside of the Free Cities. I had to scour many books, and the Queen imported a few on my behalf, specifically to find this, and then had to find the Invisible Stalker. So I expect the key to be a well-guarded secret, or at least physically guarded. I couldn't speak to the knowledge in those regions. The people there might know of it.
We could take a boat to Druinsbar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and then go south from there.
Yeah.
Hope that we find the key before, like...
What's
before
our
we
plan
have
to search
fight
for the
Gold
key?
Hill.
It feels like if we go around asking questions, people are probably going to get very suspicious very quickly, so we're not going to be able to investigate that way.
Anton, can you cast Locate Object?
I believe I can, but I need a very intimate.
Yeah, we have to actually hold it. We're not, or see
Yeah,
like
I
a
need
picture
very-
at least. Yeah.
Or see it. Yeah. Maybe
I
what we
wonder
could
if there's
do.
a library, perhaps, in Druinsbar, or something like
Maybe.
that.
You also have, this is a more grandiose plan. You have your Hat of Disguise. Maybe somehow, if we see a council member or someone in their entourage, you could go about asking questions that way without raising suspicion. Bit more risky, but something to.
That could work. We could also, if we could pose as historians or something like that, we could perhaps justify asking questions enough maybe to get... and maybe see a book that describes the key. Enough to let us cast the Locate Object spell.
Does Locate Object work that way? If you're made familiar with something by book, you can locate object on it?
If you've got an
No.
accurate depiction of what it looks like, it should work, right?
Let me link it 100%. Koibu was shaking his head, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're gonna need to have seen it or handled it. I
Alright,
think.
okay. Yeah. Then the Hat of Disguise might be the best way to do it. Somebody knows what key is.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be reasonable. Like, I can't obviously just disguise and walk up and say, like, hey, where'd we put that key that goes to the tomb?
No, we'd need some sort of story.
Yeah. What could we ever talk about to bring up?
It says it requires an accurate mental image. So just for, I guess, argument's sake, say we found a book that described a king's helmet or a king's crown to a T from a historian. Would I be able to cast Locate Object because I have the mental image of the key? If it was accurate enough, maybe this would even need a roll to like.
I mean, if it was accurate enough, if it had like description and
Upon
pictures
description,
that were like perfect, then maybe. But I think the real problem you're going to have is that nothing is ever described perfectly in books, and then your interpretation is always going to be slightly off.
Yep. Okay. Just curious. How are we gonna have reason for asking about the key?
Why don't we head to Drunesbar and see what the lay of the land is? We could just have an initial story for why we're there, and then we can formulate the details of the plan once we're there and we know kind of what we're dealing with. We had like a broad cover story for why we're in the area.
You can always just be hunting again, right? I mean, it's a free city. We don't really need a reason to be there, I imagine, right? We could just be traveling through. It's not like people are going to interrogate us.
Maybe
I mean,
there's
they'll
even
definitely
cool stuff to go
interrogate
by,
you
I
as
don't
to
know.
why you're here. They're going to question outsiders, especially
wait.
in times of war like this. But
When you say free
know.
city, my understanding, and I could be different. When you say free city, my understanding is that this is like open areas of like where anybody can come and go for like trade or merchants or anything like that. Or is that...
I mean that they're not under the rule of any kingdom. They're city-states. They're free from dominion.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Should still be chill though to be there. It's far away from the war, Drunesbar.
Yeah, Drunesbar is pretty far away from the war. Gold Hill has been conquered, so maybe the people of Roxas are eyeing some suspicion, but, you know, this forest right here is the border of elven lands, so for Mystery to come and conquer Roxas, they'd have to fight the elves first. Maybe Roxas is pretty chill. Who knows? Drunesbar is definitely far, far away from everything. The only thing they might be involved in is the Kuban civil war that's happening at the same time.
Do you think it'd be beneficial for us to bring like 16 plus 1 swords with us, and maybe we could even trade for some mithril gear? My argument would be Roxas maybe is interested in trading since Gold Hill was taken over. Maybe they need to arm their
There's no reason not to, but Mithril's not a substitute for magical enchantment.
Yeah, we're just never going to use these plus 1 swords.
Yeah. You know, another thought about the key is, like, Drunesbar is the most well defended. It's the furthest away from the hostile kingdoms around them, and it's the furthest away from the tomb itself. So if you're going to try and hide the key in one of the 3 cities, I think Drunesbar would be the most... make the most sense, right?
Yeah, my only thing is they might not be trying to hide the key. It might be like a family memento, and that would be passed down, it seems like, within Roxas.
If that's the case, though, I feel like it's not going to be a huge secret about like where it is. Like if it's like some sort of finding the memento that gets passed down through the ages, you know, they might be openly talking.
It might be like displayed above like the council's table or something. Yeah, like legitimately. So we go to Drunesbar, maybe we'll hear something about it. One thing that Tyrael can always do is he can always use a disguise hat, go around asking questions.
True.
Disguise. The only thing it would do, it might let them know that people are asking about it, but they wouldn't know who. So.
I mean, I can also ask questions and then wipe somebody's mind right after asking it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think we have anything else to go on. Where is the tomb again?
It's where the thing is.
This thing right here?
The closest crevice to the rounded mountain is the description the invisible stalker gave back.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the location of the tomb known, or is that something that took? He said that took a lot of work to find out.
It took summoning an air elemental to search
gotcha.
the whole of the Draken Waste.
Yeah, I don't see anything else we could do besides going to Drunesbar and then asking around and figuring it out from there.
Is the queen in the room?
No, she is not presently.
Claritas, before we head out, do you think the queen would be at all interested in having parley with Roxas about maybe doing like a duo assault on Gold Hill to take it back, or?
I can't speak to Her Highness's intentions, but I know she has a gift prepared for you. So she was hoping to meet with you before you left again.
We'll definitely wait for that then.
Yeah.
I shall go see if she is available. And Claritas will scurry out of the room, sort of giddy-like, as if he's excited for what's to come, and leave you guys for probably an hour or two to yourselves until the queen can make an appearance.
Another long trip on a boat, then.
I'll have time to train my hawk. Maybe that could be useful.
We'll have to be careful. Our normal get out of free card probably won't work in these cities, right?
What do you mean by revealing who we are?
Well, we had a pardon essentially from the crown for if we'd gotten into any serious trouble in these lands, but in the free cities, if we get into trouble, we're not going to have any sort of assistance, probably.
We're stronger now, though. I'm sure that there's not many in these cities that could stand up to us if it came to them.
Maybe, hopefully not. I mean, we're not about to be just slaying armies, though, right?
No. So what do we do when we get there? We should ask around in the taverns, perhaps, see if it is common knowledge. If it's not, which it probably isn't, maybe we try and ingrace ourselves in the local nobility.
I mean, I think if we believe that the key is at Roxas, if it was like a public affair, maybe some common person would know that, like a person on the street we could ask.
Yeah. Is it too risky for us to say who we are, try and speak to the council directly, and come up with some other reason why we're looking for info about the key?
Do you think, could we pose as... Follow me for a minute here. This is a little out there. But we have our man Cartos here. There's a lot of people that spend a great deal of time studying ancient artifacts. What school of magic, I'm sure one of you to know, there must be some school of magic that concerns itself with locking or sealing away like tombs or doors. Could we pose as people that just travel lands archiving and researching how keys work across the land or something, and just say that, like, oh, we heard that there was a grand key, it was like 10 pounds made of metal, seems quite fascinating, could aid us in our research. Do you think something like that?
It can be done by a knock spell as well, which would be like a big one that we could be like researching about.
Yeah, that's...
Could we pose as just trying to learn that for like the queen's sake? Like, we want to bolster our treasury and we want it so it can't be knock spelled through.
Thing is, though, with that, to study why the lock is immune to knock involves finding the lock, not finding the key. And then they're going to be less likely to give that information.
Well, I'm sure that, I mean, as professional key and lock researchers, as we'll be posing as, I'm sure that understanding the architecture of a key can give us all the information we need to know about the lock, or a great deal about the lock itself, you know?
You need both lock and key.
I don't know, like, you've got this hidden treasure, right? And then 3 people turn up claiming to be lock and key experts, and could you please show us where the key is?
Well, I mean, it's not really so much as, like, it's not like the tomb has just been uncovered and everybody around the land is looking for it, right? So there's no reason to think that there's like some special interest in this now. They should have no reason to suspect us. I think if we put on a convincing enough act, especially if we can get some manuscript paper together, having illustrations of other keys and everything, I think it would just be a matter of selling it.
We're also bringing a great gift with us. Maybe this could be...
What gift are we bringing?
We don't know yet. The queen is bringing it. Can we
have Cartos, if you're willing to go along with this, or if not, we can think of another idea. But if Cartos could get together, I'm sure that he does a lot of research. This guy's got his nose buried in books all day. You could get like 20 or 30 manuscript together on like assorted keys and locks, both magical and non-magical, for us to have in our possession. It would lend a great deal of credibility to our story, I think.
Like actual locks or just manuscripts of them?
No, manuscripts of them, so that it looks as though we've done research and we're compiling research and everything on these types of things.
Yeah.
What kind of people live in these cities again? It's all sorts
predominantly
of...
mixed dwarves in Roxas, but there's, well, I shouldn't say humans, dwarves, half-elves, and gnomes.
Okay.
And some half-elves. Roxas is a very mixed city.
Instead of being experts on locks, what if we're experts on dwarven engineering? And we've heard about this lock and key and it being so unusual and immune to lockpick and knock spell. So we want to catalog that as part of our... It's just less specific, right? Like, how many groups of traveling lock researchers really are
we're
there?
here for great dwarven engineering, and this is one of the greatest like pieces of engineering they've ever done. A lock that's immune to knock. I think that makes more sense. Or I think
yeah, we
better.
could do that too. Yeah.
It's fine. They're both fine.
What if we got there and they decide not to show us that, but they have other great feats of dwarven engineering as well that they'd rather show us? Do we insist on seeing the lock?
Yeah, we go along with it. We try and isolate the head honcho in a conversation on our own, and then I'll use magic to try and convince them to our side.
We play along. If they say like, "Oh, we're not willing to show you that," then we know they have it, right? Or like for the most part, we can assume that they'd have it. Then, if they say, "Oh, well, we don't have that," then it's like a 50-50 they do it.
What if as well, Tyrael, you were to wear the hat the whole time and disguise yourself as a dwarf? Might make them like us more, give us more reason to be doing it. We could just be your advisors, your bodyguards.
Well, it is possible. I kind of wonder if they'd look down on me. What's the dwarven equivalent of like an Uncle Tom? Does that exist in like this world? If I'm like walking around as a dwarf, like taking notes for humans about dwarves, it feels like they would look down on.
You probably dwarves and humans can work together in some places very well, so that's not necessarily what would happen. But more likely, you could like look like a dwarf, but you might not act like a dwarf, or you like understand dwarven culture or references, right? You might give away your non-dwarfdom through like
okay, but you wouldn't be
cues.
looked down upon as a dwarf for like traveling with and working with humans. They wouldn't think you're like a sellout or something.
Could you have
in theory that could be a thing, but that's not like a universal thing.
instead of that, could we, instead of being, I guess, your equals or we're hired to do it, maybe you could be from Hillsborough or Clydesdale? There's a new dwarven nation up there. Maybe instead of being your equals, we are your bodyguards, and you're some big shot from that area. That gets a little bit more grandiose. It becomes an issue if they're talking to them, but I think that would sell it more than, I guess, like you're doing it for us.
Another scary thing is I don't want to travel around disguised that often as sizes that differ greatly from mine, because we run a much higher risk of something happening that reveals my disguise.
Yeah.
That's the other only scary thing. I think we could pull off the dwarf stuff with enough research and whatever, but if I like run into a door or something weird happens, like we're very, very, very ultra fucked.
We could probably get a noble dwarf to accompany us. I'm sure that there is like a noble dwarf historian, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's
honest to
adding
God,
more risk, though.
but it is.
than
We
it's
also,
worth.
no one else is privy to the details of our mission, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but wait, actually, hold on, I'm sorry. That might even be better, though. If we are able to find a historian dwarf that likes to study dwarven things, is there a way that we could convince him that there is a really cool key that exists up here and that will accompany him if he can study it? That would
Yeah,
get...
then
That would...
what, though?
What?
We find it, and then what? He's like, okay, we found the key.
Then
Then
we
what
kill
do we
him
do?
and we steal the key.
Do you
I don't know.
have, do you have sleep? Do you have sleep? Nick?
No. I mean, I could knock him out, though. That's not a problem, but like...
So, I don't know if we have a sleep... Okay, so say we have some way to put him to sleep. We're walking back from Roxas. We know what... so let's say we stole the key, we're walking back from Roxas. He has no idea.
Mm-hmm.
We stop near the rounded mountain. We put him to sleep. We go do our thing. We get our shit, and then we leave with him none the wiser, right?
No, I couldn't put him to sleep for that long. Not long enough to do it. Also, would we really walk through the Draken Wastes to get home? Through
We could
Gold
just tell
Hill,
him we could tell him we're
territory?
going through Gold Hill. I guess that would be... Does he know that Gold Hill's captured? Is that like
All of that amongst the nobility, they should know what cities are owned by who. I would imagine at every point in time. These guys are all CNN Twitter watchers.
I mean, we could send him back and say, like we've got further business with the elves or something like that. But I don't know. Like, okay, if we have a dwarf following us around who's like genuinely interested in dwarven engineering, like, what
he
does
could
that
literally
actually
lead
do?
all of the... Well, it lends credence, and it'll be someone that can actually talk about the dwarven engineering, right? We could maybe a fourth asset. But if he's there, he could actually show that he actually gives a fuck. So say they want to show us a chapel or something first. He would ask all the right questions for them to be like, oh, okay, he actually knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show off our amazing feat and like really blow his mind. Boom. Then we get to see the key.
That's bringing like a real dwarf that's an actual historian, like gives us infinite credibility. That's like the nice thing about that. But then we just need to figure out what we're gonna tell him.
Well, we just tell him we've got to go somewhere else and we don't need him for the next stage of our research or something. I mean, it can't be that.
Yeah,
No, but like,
we
what
could
are we
also-
telling him? Why are we telling him to come with us in the first place?
We could say that we're working for the Queen and we're interested in this technology for purposes surrounding the war, but we don't want to admit that to the Free Cities because we feel like they'd want to stay neutral and they wouldn't want to help us.
Well, we also need someone who knows about the information.
That's
to bring the information.
perfect.
Back, which would yeah.
Wait,
And then
Wait, okay.
Yeah,
Hold on. Let me just run through this so far, okay? I think this works really well. So all we need to do is we need to find a dwarven historian, somebody that is obviously well researched and naturally knows all of this stuff.
Yeah.
We need to tell him that we have a secret mission from the Crown. The Crown, as we are in times of war, is looking for new and innovative ways to secure weapons and armor, especially magical weapons and armor, which are of great value in this war. So we want him to come with us on a mission. He's going to pose as somebody that just has a great interest in researching dwarven artifacts. What we want him to ask about is specifically if they have any type of like dwarven keys or locks or any type of information like that. We probably have to trade for this. I can't imagine why anybody would like willingly tell you how they secretly lock stuff up or whatever. But I think up to that, I think so far works.
So are we telling him that we want the key or that we just want to see it?
We don't want the key. We just need to see it. If we can figure out where it's at, we can get it.
And we can get it, yeah. Okay, so the key is like, sorry, the goal is find out where the key is, get rid of the dwarf, and then we steal it.
So what happens when we get there? They know our faces. We have just asked about the key, have been shown the key, then the key goes missing. How do we...
Does the key need to go missing? What we could do is, one, we could take the key, break into the tomb, steal everything, and return the key, and be done with it. In which case, they would never know, because it's not like they go to the tomb ever.
Correct.
Well, it depends where the key is. If it's in plain sight, then they would know.
That is true. However, depending on where the key is and how it's stored, we could create a convincing copy to sit there while we do our stuff in the tomb. It doesn't have to be perfect, just like, because if it's hanging up on the wall, it's not like people are inspecting it every day or whatever.
Yeah.
Just something passable, and then we could do our business in the tomb.
You know, we could also just, the four of us go together, but at any meetings, it's just you and the dwarf, and you change into a different person.
Potentially.
Make yourself look more like a bodyguard.
I mean, like,
You know,
we don't
full place
necessarily
armor,
even
stay
need to
quiet.
accompany him. I mean, there's no reason to assume this guy's going to backstab us or something, right?
Yeah.
The hat of disguise only works on people, right? I can't put, like, a hat of disguise on a key and... Okay. I'm just
Correct.
making sure.
How would... So it's a 10-pound key, correct?
Yeah.
So
At
are
least
there...
it's a big key.
It's a big key. So maybe we need to get a big key made here?
Because we don't know what it looks like.
No idea what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is but when we get there, we can't commission a key to be made, right? Because it would A, take a while, and B, it would look weird that somebody's getting it.
I think we absolutely could. It's fucking
so?
dwarf land. We should be able to find a million different blacksmiths, or like whatever.
And we would just have like a rough sketch from the dwarf of the key. Show them, hey, can we get this key made?
Who cares though? Let's just steal the key. Like, they don't need it. Once we've stolen all the shit out of the tomb, it's no good to them.
We just don't want. Well, they're not going to know the tomb's been raided, right?
Yeah, we just don't want them to know the key.
No,
was
I know, but I'm guessing. My point is that it's easier for us to disguise who we are than it is to try and disguise that the key's been stolen.
Yeah, sure.
We don't care if they know it's been stolen.
Well,
as long
but
as
it'd be
they know
nice
it's
if they didn't know that it'd been stolen, because then everything is like good.
Yeah.
Because if the key
good.
gets stolen, then the dwarf that we're bringing with us is going to be like a prime suspect, and that could cause tension between our city.
And we're bringing the dwarf on the request of the queen.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
how we're
true.
doing
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's
it
hard
is-
to formulate this section of the plan without knowing exactly what we're dealing with here. I think we should find the dwarf, get down there,
Yeah.
see what the lay of the land is, and then work out the heist part once we know where the key is.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We will wait for Claritas to rejoin us.
Sure. Claritas and the Queen will join you after you've had some time, and the Queen comes in with a green felt cloth wrapped over something.
Oh.
Behind her is one of her bodyguards, one of the like 9th level knights in full plate with a magic sword that follows her around everywhere. After everyone observes the appropriate formalities, she holds out her package to Imric.
Marvelous. I take a step forward. Auntie, this for me?
For all of you, but I think you will be the one who will get the most use out of this.
Gingerly, if I may, and then start to move the green felt from the item.
It is a book, a fairly large book, weighs about 12 pounds or so, and the front of it is entitled Majora's Monstrous Manual. And she says, I have been looking for a copy of this, not only for ourselves, but more importantly, for you all. This is one of the few copies that our people were able to get out of Eridon after its fall. This contains all of Majora's writings on the various monsters, golems, creations found throughout Arcadia, the surrounding continents, and even some of the other elementals, constructs, dragons. It should give you as much information possible on the flora and fauna of the area, of the whole area, she says, gesturing, to the world, as you might need.
Thank you for such an exquisite gift. I'm sure this will be most helpful.
I am saddened to say that I have not been able to make your meetings with Clertis, but the war has taken a poor direction. Scoria has become more involved. Undoubtedly, you've heard about the fall of Bridgegate and Ralwick and Old Voden.
We'd heard of Ralwick, but not Old Voden.
Yes.
Is Ralwick completely destroyed?
Walls have been melted. People have been killed. The town has been abandoned. The West Voden Plain is slowly being emptied. However, being that it is the end of November, we will probably be headed into a cooler warring period during the winter months. So take advantage of this as best as you can. I doubt there will be much action on the front lines for months, weeks.
Fantastic. This gives us time to find more items and grow stronger.
When it picks up again,
yeah,
you can see like lines of weariness across her face. The toll of the ongoing war clearly weighs on her.
Fear not. The gods will favor us in the end. Of this, I'm sure.
I wish I had your faith.
Fake it till you make it.
How is your uncle doing? She says, turning towards Imric.
My uncle?
I'm sorry, not Imric. Tyrael.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I haven't had much contact with him since we've been on our adventures. I'm sure he's doing fine. Probably up to mischief as usual, although I'm sure his old age is making that quite a bit harder.
My sister, your mother, had mentioned some health problems that he had been having, but I suppose you've been away for too long.
Yeah, I'm not aware. We'll have to catch up as soon as we have an opportunity to chill and catch our breath.
Is there anything I can do for you?
What do dwarves like to bargain for? I'm sure you've had trades with them before. What catches their eye? Anything in particular?
In my experience, it's been more about what disinterests them. Their interests kind of vary, but they're never... I've never had a dwarf come ask me for something temporary or something minor. They seem to only ever deal with things that are sure and stable, long-lasting. It's never a momentary favor. They are not a people who ask for many things.
Interesting. I'll look to Clertis. Have you gained any ground on the mermaids?
I wish I could say.
I'll nod. I guess that's it.
Clertis, I turn to Tyrael and Anton. Should we not ask Clertis about the historian?
Oh.
Yeah, so you mentioned something you could help us with. Something that we were wondering if we could get a favor from you. We think we have hatched a plan to get the key, but we're going to need to go on a false mission first. We were wondering if you could give us some sort of dwarven historian, and if we could go to these cities under the guise of the crown looking to research things related to dwarven technology. And we're hoping that the dwarven historian that we bring can give us some more information about the architecture and location of this key. But we would need him to think that he's on an official mission from the Queen in order to come with us. Does this seem like too much to ask for, or?
There is a momentary pause. afterwards, the queen bobs her head a little bit and says, "It might take a few days to get him ready, but there is one of my retainers. One of my retainer knights is a dwarf who is interested in history, as many others are. I could appoint him to this project. His expertise lies more in combat. History is more of a hobby and a passion, but he's well spoken on the matter and loyal, without a doubt, to the crown."
Is he someone we could trust with our current mission, or?
I mean, if the
would we-
queen trusts him, I imagine we can trust him. Yeah.
That'd be nice because then we could fully.
Yeah, then we don't need to trick him.
Yeah.
Will earn and harder to lose.
All right, that sounds perfect then.
Sounds like that would work. Yeah. Well, we can wait in town while Clytus arranges a ship for us. We thought we might sail to Drunsbar first. Start there.
She shrugs. "Time is not of the essence. We can arrange a ship for you."
Awesome.
Well, I don't think we need to take up any more of your time, good queen, unless either of my brothers wishes to ask you anything further. I believe that we can let you get back to more important duties.
Well, my duties for the day are done. If you have some time, I would like to sit and hear your stories of how your missions have gone so far. All I've had to go by are Clertus's recaps, which are, she looks to him, factual, if missing the interesting details.
Indeed. We spent a lot of time on boats, had time to practice telling these stories to sailors in about 50 different varieties, so I'm sure we can help you out there.
I'll take a glance at the Great Knight's weapon. Is it super fine, Koibu, or is it just...
Yeah. It is a one-handed sword, an arming sword, with a shark skin wrap around the handle, and it looks like some sort of gemstone that you can't quite tell if it's like red or purple or blue for a pommel. The crossguard is like a very angular V made out of probably just steel or some sort of steel, iron alloy, and the rest of the blade is hidden by the scabbard, but you can see the work is exquisite. It's clearly magical. No one would ever like wrap a handle in shark skin if it wasn't part of the item creation process.
I'll take notes on the fineness and keep that in mind for my eventual perfect blade.
All right. You can chat with all the things, but she does express an interest and sit down with you.
What is our coolest story that we tell her? Oh, I guess the fight with the vampire.
Yeah,
right?
they're killing the vampire, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's
The one thing I want to ask you, though, is there anything you leave out? Is there anything that you lie to her about, or you just kind of gloss over or skip around?
I genuinely don't think that we've done anything heinous.
Except for Anton's murderous animal spree or whatever, but...
Yeah, except for trying to steal the dog. But that's not going to come up in the story, so...
I'll... You kicked the dog, yeah, for sure.
I don't have to tell them the full
Then
context.
you gotta tell
before
the stealing of the dog. Yeah, that's
next
what happens.
We're in an argument, so I think we should avoid that.
It's just like Thanksgiving at home, guys. This is classic.
Yeah.
This is
you
how you
start
talk
to
your
talk
family.
about blinding the dog. I'll kick you under the table, straight you up. I think the best story will be the story of like when Sandra ambushed us in the house, and I was like watching the tree and realized too late that she was like coming to kill Anton and Tyrion. Bit of a slapstick element to the story, you know.
Yeah.
Get some laughs in there, and it was all fine because we won in the end. Wouldn't have been as funny if we'd have all died horribly and turned into vampires, but
yeah.
Oh, I doubt that she'd know about the noble family, but the something lady. I mean, I'll recant how we saved her, and then I think she went back to Rawwick. Does she know anything about
the
her?
night that you met.
Yeah. I don't know if the queen would know all noble families or anything, but I might as well ask.
No, she. There's some small minor noble family the queen's not aware of.
Got it.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh,
Well, you
also
chat with her.
we also brought that trader lady down to start a new life and a new business. We went through that all-female city or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
The one who speaks to Malchus.
Yeah.
The one who in the town. The one whose dog we stole.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, the one that you brought to Pernissus
Yeah,
or Bondundasir or something like that. Mm-hmm.
See, she didn't even want those dogs. She left them.
Well, you actually got a point.
She is actually quite intrigued by that tale. A person aligned with Malchus who has gone out of their way to help you guys. You know, it's never. That's the problem, is you can never really tell if it's a good thing or a bad thing when a cleric of Malchus is helping you, because they might really want to help you, or they might be trying to sabotage you in some way, and like they've got really good motivations to do everything. So it's always a point of interest and concern when you bring up clerics of Malchus giving you a hand. She'll ask you if you revealed your true identities to this cleric.
Of course
We've
not.
I don't think I don't think we've revealed it at all.
No.
No, we've been good.
Not to a single person. Not even to the pirates that.
No.
Yeah. I guess we could ask her general thoughts on that. Like, we should. We didn't tell when we traveled south to the snowy place. We didn't tell them about what we were actually there for, right?
Nope. We didn't even tell them what we came up with.
No.
Okay.
Although, now that I'm thinking about it, right? Think of Scoria's point of view. She's busy fighting the war, but now that the war's on hiatus for the next few months, maybe now is the time that she'd start diverting her attention to other things, which may be, tracking us down or working out what we're doing. So
why is it on hiatus now? Is it because it's cold out? Or
because it's winter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of fall, you need as many hands possible free just to like farm the fields, because it takes a shit ton of labor to harvest everything, and so you need all of your armies to sort of be recalled during harvest time. And then the winter brings rain and mud, and it slows armies, and it just gets so difficult to move around that people generally just fucking take the winter off, come back for war again during the summer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't think we should, loosen up on our tongues. So I think we need to maintain pretty strict secrecy.
Yeah. Can I check is there like a mail thing? We never received a letter here from that one night lady that we asked to. I know that we sent her to that one city and to see if that one guy would send a letter to us. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
The sword belt, right?
Yeah.
We asked the knight to
see if that guy would
find
send a
out
letter
about the
to
sword
us or
belt.
whatever, yeah.
Right. Let's see. It's been... When did you leave?
It's been like a week, right? Maybe 2.
It's been like 2-3 weeks. About 3 weeks. Let's see if she's been successful. 1 week. No news in the first week. No news in the second week. No news in the third week.
I have taught my my falcon to scout, and I've taught him to do letters to Wicthron Rerenthra. We went over that last episode where I got like the permission of like the guy, because he said it was like going to be letters to the queen. So we have those two. I'll ask my brothers, do you have any ideas for like a third trick that I could teach the falcon that would be useful?
Look for something, like describe something and have it fly off and look for it.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to teach him that then. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
it'll take
Can I learn
Takes a
a
whole week, yeah.
spell whilst we're waiting for the ship?
Yeah, it'll take... let me roll a die here. It'll take 3 days to prepare the dwarf and the ship.
Okay, I don't have this spell written down anywhere, but I imagine it's quite common. Clairvoyance. Assume I can get a copy of that to learn.
Yes, you can get a copy of that to learn. It's in the diviner here in the castle will teach it to you.
Okay, do I get a bonus since he's teaching it?
Yeah, 10% bonus. You have a tutor directly.
Based. Nice. Easy.
Okay, and days? 3d2? Okay, so it'll take you 5 days.
And I'm actually going to teach the hawk how to like fetch or snatch. So if somebody has like something in their hand, I'll point at it and he'll go grab that. Maybe a necklace on.
A snatch?
Yeah, like a snatch.
Yeah.
So like a necklace or like something on their hand, he'll go and grab it from them.
That's great. How long does it take to teach a trick? A week?
It takes 1 week. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take another 2 days.
I could
And
also do it
later
on
you guys
the
leave.
boat, I think, but yeah, that's
Yeah, you'll probably want to be on land for
days.
that. It might be awkward on a boat.
cool.
Okay. Take any gear that you need. Are you going to bring those swords to give as gifts? Those +1 items that you've been collecting?
Should we just bring a few and just give them as gifts to like the council?
So what is the goal with this?
I don't know. We just have so many +1
Bribery.
swords that I think we like give them as gifts like as we come, and it'll give goodwill and allow us to have our dwarf guy actually research stuff coming in, because we are coming from the queen and giving out. Let's say it's like 4 fucking 4 council members. We give 4 +1 swords. It's great, you know.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with it. Just make sure we're being careful. Yeah, we could bring like 5 or 10 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask Cartos, how many people are on the council in Roxas? And is there one great ruler in Drunsbar?
Roxas has a council of 7. Drunsbar has a mayor that they elect.
Okay. So we'll bring 8.
Okay. You have a place to stow these 8 magic
Yeah,
items?
I was gonna ask, are we able to take them on? Are we able to like bring a carriage with us, or?
A carriage by boat would work, but once you get to Drunsbar, like taking it across land where there's no road would be a huge pain in the ass.
What's something that you would bring, I guess, if you wanted to transport?
You just load it in a big box, in a chest, seal it, and haul it behind you.
We don't have any other. How many bags of holding do we have right now?
We don't have any. We only have the one.
We just
The
have my
coin
coin
purse?
purse thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
You could
Okay.
wrap them in a bundle, wrap them in a big cloth and tie it closed and carry it over your shoulders.
Yeah, I'll do that in like a nice, fine silken cloth, I guess.
Yeah, you got a week to prepare. You can, the queen will take you to her tailor who will give you a, nice fabric, and that can be sorted
with
out
like
quite easily.
the symbol of, I guess, the crown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get the
Of the
symbol on
crown or of your house? Are you doing this on behalf
On
of
behalf
the
of the queen.
Drakithian?
it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. She asks if you would like her to write you a letter of introduction.
Yep, that would work too. Including the letter for like the dwarf, like why we're there, because I think we explained that to.
Yeah, if you want to dictate a letter, she'll just sign it. So one of you type up like a quick,
I'll get Tyrael to dictate the letter.
We're not worried about this seeming us asking them to be a bit too partial to a particular kingdom as free cities, are we?
Yeah, I think that's why we have to offer some payment.
Yeah, the swords.
In the
Okay, yeah,
form of
hopefully
either
the swords will
gold or
take care of that.
swords, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Neal, it seems like there's 2 versions of clairvoyance, and neither of
Yes.
them are the ones from the book.
One of them is one from the book. No?
I don't think so.
The
one from the book uses pineal
alteration.
glands.
Yeah.
And I don't see either one in here.
Clairvoyance. It should be, I'm sorry, the divination one.
I see the divination one, but it's a totally different spell.
Really?
Yeah. It says that the material component is a crystal ball on a cloth mat, and it describes you put the mat down and then you touch the ball, and anyone in the room can see through the ball. It's totally different. But I want classic clairvoyance.
Oh, wow. Yeah, what happened to the other clairvoyance spell? That's a great question, Nick.
Thank you. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna. I won't add it. I'll just add the one in here to my spellbook, but it's actually the real clairvoyance. Okay.
Yeah. I will fix it for you momentarily. It must have gotten suppressed somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. How did you... Okay, if you refresh the spell list, it should be back now.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll ask my brothers, I guess. Do you think instead of one of the +1 weapons, we should bring one of the axes from the tomb, Angus's axes, or do you think that's fine?
Would they have any value to the dwarfs? It can't hurt to bring one, right?
I don't know if it have any value. Yeah.
To
but
bring what object?
one of the Angus axes, the Minotaur ones. I guess
Those
we're
are-
coming for history, so we bring one item of great history to like maybe sweeten the pot. I don't know. They might be interested, but it's up to
I think we should bring a significant amount of like gems and gold as well, because there's a good chance that that's what they're gonna want. Sorry,
if
go
you
ahead.
think so. I was just gonna bring the 8+1 weapons.
Yeah, I think bring the weapons. That's definitely what we'll aim for. But they might
Yeah.
end up being like, we have no use for weapons. I want gold. Neal, can I buy some pineal glands?
Yes, there's a magic shop in town. You can buy all the things.
I shall buy 10 pineal glands.
Right. And as long as you're not buying anything expensive, we don't really have to worry about prices, just weights.
Is it possible that I could meet with, or that we could meet, I guess, before we go with the dwarf?
Oh, absolutely. You're going to have to. The dwarf's name is Lazar.
Greetings, Lazar. I am Anton.
Anton?
Well,
Gabriel? Emmerich? I've
Nice to meet you.
heard
sir.
of you before.
I had a quick question for you. What do you think, well, you know our mission. What do you think dwarves would want?
Depends on the dwarf you're talking to. Tell me, what do humans want?
I guess
Well-
it depends on the human, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, then. I'm glad we settled that.
This is the start of a very fruitful relationship, I can tell. Well, Lazar, has Clertus filled you in on the details of our mission here? I don't think you need the full story, but at least specific to what we're trying to achieve in the Free Cities.
You're looking for a historian to dig around and research storage devices, dwarven methodologies and inventions.
We're trying to find specifically the location of the key to Vlad Ulmar's tomb, which we believe is in one of the 3 cities. However, yeah, we're going to do it under the guise of researching dwarven technology for use by the crown.
I see why Clertus left this to you to tell me.
I would have thought he would have told you, but I'm
He's
glad
a
I can fill you
slacker.
in.
You know how Clertus is.
Wow,
Spends his whole life in a book.
a very confrontational man, I suppose. Right. Vlad Ormor's tomb, huh?
Yeah.
What's in it? I mean, clearly Ormor is there, but
I'll throw down what's it. I'll just tell him what's in it. There's a
Mhm.
ring of reaction. Da, 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 da.
right.
Plenty magical items.
And I
guess
mean, we were
dark
told,
times call for
Yeah.
dark approaches.
Of course, we don't want the dwarves of the 3 cities to know that we plan to raid the tomb.
Certainly,
borrow
certainly.
from the tomb.
Borrow. Sorry.
We
Right,
plan on
so-
returning all
Throws
these
a
items.
suspicious glance at you when you say borrow, like he doesn't
I-
trust that you're going to return them.
I tell him we do actually plan to return all these items after we have completed our mission.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Just like you're returning those gems.
Wait, I didn't steal any gems.
Well, I can't remember what it was that we... A discussion for another time, I say.
Yeah,
Looking
yeah,
at Lazar. I think Clertus is arranging travel for us by boat. You're not averse to traveling by sea, are you, Lazar?
No. I know some of my kin are a little concerned about the waves, but I can swim.
Good. Well, hopefully no swimming will be required.
Hmm.
With any luck.
Well, when you make something out of wood, you never know if it's going to break or not.
This might be a pointed question, but
Nice.
what is a dwarves weapon of choice?
And that's
Well,
good.
axes and hammers. Sturdy things. Solid. Not like one of your flimsy swords, you stick it in and move it to the side and the whole thing snaps.
I'll go through our 23 +1 weapons, and I want to grab 6 like hammers or axes if I can find those, because I have
Sure.
2 more axes.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head what your distribution of magic.
We don't
loot
have.
has
We never
been.
got a distribution of what it
Yeah.
was. You just said a various assortment of +1 weapons. So I
Where
guess
did you find the various assortment of +1 weapons?
These
From the
were
Mist-
from the Mistrians.
Yeah.
Oh, from those ones. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
So
so
we
you'll
have-
find at least 1 axe and 1 mace in that pile. Everything else is probably spears and swords.
Okay, so we have 23, so that'll be 2. Okay.
I mean, I've got this axe. I could part with it. It's not of a great deal of significance to me. I could go back to using a sword.
We have a +2 two-handed sword if you want.
Oh, here we go. Sorry. I have the exact. There was 10 swords, 3 axes, 3 spears, 2 maces, and you also got that quiver, right? The infinite quiver?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
How many axes and maces?
3 axes, 2 maces.
Perfect. So we've got the 3
10
axes, the
swords.
2 maces, and then the Minotaur axe.
Well, we also have 2 magical maces from the tomb of the Minotaur, so I think we're good. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we got 8.
All right,
Great.
let's go and stand on the dock impatiently and wait for the ship.
All right. You guys can wait impatiently for your ship, which will eventually arrive. A lot of you can hop on, take to the seas, which will be a bit of a long journey.
Wait, before we do this, we don't need anything, do we? Are we good? To travel, you mentioned that like these lands were rough or whatever. We don't need anything special to travel through any of these lands or whatever, right?
Well, the Draken Waste has very little supply of water.
Yeah, we could do it with larger water flasks.
Yeah, and your Cloak of Plenty has enough food for you guys to subsist on if it's just 3 of you at like a pretty meager level. You know, it's enough to get you going, but you wouldn't want to survive on it for a long period of time or in like harsh conditions. If you're like climbing mountains, it's not going to be enough food for you.
There's a whole thing of mead as well, but I think that's 1 drink. So it might be able to be okay for 1 person, but you know.
Yeah. So you'll need water for the Draken Wastes, maybe some food if you're going to be in there for a long period of time, and if you're bringing the dwarf with you.
We have good berries if we need food.
Let's grab large water containers here first, so that way we don't have to be in like Roxas and buy a bunch of large water containers.
Okay, are you able to carry them? Because I'm going to be carrying all these swords and shit, and it's going to be heavy.
Well, we're not going to be doing any running, right? We're going to be sitting around on a boat. We can be encumbered.
Okay. I'm just severely encumbered.
Or as long as we don't need anything super special, we can just get this stuff at the free cities too. It's fine. We can probably get larger water flasks or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's fine, but I don't want to. Then it might be like, why do you need large water flasks? You're not planning to head into the Draken Waste, so.
If there are merchants, I don't think they're going to be asking questions, right?
true.
We just might want a large water flask. Like, fuck them, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. You can't cast Create Water, no.
Nope.
Anton.
I cannot.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Well, why don't we take our first break before we set sail to Droon's Bar, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
All right, we'll be back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. Our party has taken to the sea. After a short journey to Bon May, you hop aboard a ship, and you make your way northwest, sort of going round. Is there anything in particular I need to know about your ship voyage? Any like sneaky plans that you had discussed in secret that need to be enacted now?
No, but I've just had a thought. We should buy the dwarf any books on history that might be relevant that he doesn't have, so that on the ship voyage he can just like
Brush up.
read up on a load of this shit. Yes, he knows what he's talking about when he gets there.
We'll borrow some books from the library if the queen will allow it, I guess. Or if we need to, we can go buy some.
Yeah, sure.
Also on the voyage, I'll be reading along with, I think, these other 2, the monster manual that we got. So if there's any juicy tidbits you want to throw out.
Well, essentially, you guys can open up the monstrous manual and take a look at the stats therein for any creatures. And you'll, of course, I will have modified things a little bit here or there. But if you come across a young black dragon in your adventures, now you'll at least have a reference book where you can like pull back, regroup, take a look at what a young black dragon might look like, and then make your approaches.
Is there specifics on specific dragons, or is it more just like the categories in the monster manual itself?
It's more the categories in the monsters manual. It's sort of like an overview of the broad. They're trying to be like very broad rather than like very specific with this dragon and that dragon and that dragon.
What about can I? Is there like an index by area? Like, could I read the section on the Draken Wastes, for example, and work out what all monsters live there and read about them?
Unfortunately, not, because it's categorized just like here's a thing for each thing. If there is an index, it's probably like in a supplementary book that was not acquired.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
as we go past the Cape of Rohanna, I would like to ask the captain if he ever runs into merfolk around here.
Well, that's a great question, but you will be intercepted before you have an opportunity to do so. It's on the way towards the Cape of Rohana that you run into your first hiccup in your plan. You've passed ships, there's trade going on, but as you get near the Cape of Rohana, there is one small, swift sailing vessel that beelines for you guys. You are in kind of a fat merchant vessel, super stable, definitely going to get where it's going, but it's not built for speed, whereas this is definitely a ship of war. It is flying a banner. And does anyone have heraldry as a proficiency?
Wait, before I answer that, is it too late? I had spells for being in town. Can I change spells to be traveling, or is that too metagaming now?
I suppose you would have changed them to traveling spells.
Yes.
That feels like the sort of thing you should do when I say you're going to go on a ship journey. Is there anything that I should know? And then you don't say anything.
Look, now, it's in your power to just say no.
I know, but I feel bad.
I've got heraldry. I've got heraldry as well.
Okay. Give me a heraldry check.
29.
Excellent.
I'm gonna roll a DC 28 in check to read
see
out
if
my
you would.
spells. Oh, okay. You can't argue with that.
Okay, that's fine.
You literally can't. Okay.
We'll let it slide. But I just hope you feel bad about your life choices.
Moderately.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all I wanted is just guilt.
Okay. Cool.
You will recognize the ship is flying a Gildaran flag, which is one of the major houses in Akuba, which is in the middle of its own civil war. And you guys have been too busy raiding tombs to really be catching up on what's going on in this civil war. But the Gildaran family, what did you roll on your
29.
29? You know, that's actually pretty good. The Gildaran family from Akuba is a predominantly human family who has been in charge of the treasury. The Akuban society is broken down a little bit differently. You've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You've got 12 major families, and rather than this family rules this area and this family rules this area, it's all families have an equal spread across the board, but they all rule different sectors. So the Gildarans are in charge of overseeing the treasury. The Shazaran are in charge of the justice department, so to speak. The Abu Dads are in charge of horses and knights and equestrians. The Orans are the scholar. So each region has its own. It has representatives from all families, and they just control a particular governmental interest. So when they broke into civil war, things got a little bit complicated, where everyone was everywhere, and lands just kind of ended up haphazardly about. This ship belongs to the Gildarans, predominantly human. Used to run the treasury. Now they're doing something or other. You would know that the Tezrohan family is the family in charge of travel, and the Stonesong family is this family in charge of commerce, which would typically be the ones who have most of the naval power.
Can I, as soon as the ship is made apparent to me, can I have the my hat on? I just want to look kind of like an older-ish, chill man.
Absolutely. What would the hat? What sort of head ornament does the hat become?
Can it be like a toupee or a wig, or does it have to be like a hat? If it has to be a hat of sorts, then it would just be like a sailor hat. I'm sure there's something they wear to protect themselves from the sun.
I think it can be like a comb or a bow. So I don't suppose.
I'll just have a normal, whatever a normal sailor hat would be, I guess.
Have a pick in your hair.
No,
yeah, like a little cap going on there. A newsy cap? That'll do. Okay. This small ship is cutting right towards you as you guys pass between the mainland and Leech Isle, and it kind of, it's coming from the direction of Leech Isle towards you. at a quick pace, and it
I'm
is
gonna-
bound to intercept.
I'm gonna poke Imric and Tyrael and tell them to maybe use their spy glasses and see if they're armed. See if they have like weapons drawn or.
Or how many are on the boat, actually? Yeah, can I use my spyglass and
Yeah.
try to look at that?
Absolutely. You can get a good look at them from about a mile off. You can make a head count. It appears in addition to the people who are manning the sails and the oars, you have what looks to be 20 armed warriors on the boat. Some of them look to be knights. A few of them look to be men-at-arms. Some of them have crossbows as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell my brothers that I have a few hold persons and dictate and command ready if we need, but
It would be a shame to have to kill these men.
Would it be a shame?
I looked at the captain. Does this usually happen?
I've not come this way since the war began, but every now and then someone intercepts us. If they're gonna be pirates, they'll probably fly a piracy flag before they arrive all the way. Otherwise, I don't know.
Do you have any fighters on board?
Myself, a few of us can hold our own, but not against trained warriors in armor.
Oh wait, what type of armor are they in?
They're just wearing like light leathers. But
I assume our dwarf has a weapon and armor, right?
Of course.
he's a knight. He's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
chainmail. He's got a battle axe.
I'll ask the dwarf and my brothers. I'll ask the dwarf how do you feel about this. Then I'll also ask, do you think we should arm these people with? I'll pat the sack.
I mean, what do we expect is going to happen? They're going to try to board the ship and take it over, right? You said it's like a tiny like frigate. They don't have like weapon, like they don't have cannons or whatever on board, right?
Yeah, we don't
No.
have cannons for anything. Ships will generally ram each other, or you ram and then you board and fight hand to hand, or you take them down with missile fire or spells.
If they try and board, the crew should go below deck, and we should fight it out on top. We don't want to risk the crew dying and being stranded here.
It's true.
I don't think they're going to
That
be
would
much
be
use.
terrible.
Well, we'll tell them that.
Yeah, send the crew below deck and we'll just fight. We can fight these guys off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's a treasury ship. Maybe there's some treasure on the ship.
On their ship?
All right.
On their ship, yeah. I don't know.
The ship will approach, and they will change the flags that they fly as they get closer to signal that they are here wanting to parley, to discuss with you.
Wow.
And your captain will tell you that this is not typical of pirates. Pirates, those that wanting to just take booty, will usually fly a pirate flag specifically so that people know that they can just give up their treasure and the pirates will go away. They'd rather not have to fight and possibly lose people. So they usually make their intentions known ahead of time so people can give up without a battle.
So pulling the group, there's the 5 of us, right? Plus any other sailors that can fly. I say, pulling them in close, let's try and talk to them. But the Akubans are untrustworthy. Devilish folk, we should be on our guard.
Everyone's aware of how untrustworthy they are. All right. The captain looks to you guys. I'm working for you here. I think I might be the commander of the ship, but I think you're in charge of diplomacy.
Okay.
Noble ones.
Guess since Tyrael's disguised as an older man, I'll take a step forward, and when I think they're close enough to hear me, and I'll shout, "Hail!
All right.
You wish to parley?"
A woman will step to the front with a glistening golden helm, a spear in one hand, a shield in the other, a breastplate with a studded leather skirt coming off of it. She will raise the spear in acknowledgement of your words and call out to you, "Where goes this merchant vessel?"
We're heading round Akuba, to the north. No business of yours.
You are not meeting with the other Akuban families?
I am not. We are not Akuban. We have no interest in speaking with them.
You have no business with the Shazarans?
I do not.
The Abudads?
Never heard of them.
What wares do you bring?
Nothing that would interest you.
Do you mind if we come aboard then and inspect for ourselves? We promise to leave you in peace if you are of no threat to us.
Under whose authority?
Under my authority. Misha, leader of the Aldir Dogs. Commander of the Oars of Velthara.
Oh.
Misha, send your ship back, and you may come on board and examine our wares, but I will not have your crew within boarding distance.
I'll, go up there, send a wave, show my Velthara symbol, and yeah, she's welcome aboard. There's a cleric of Velthara on the ship.
The ship will pull up alongside yours. They will throw grappling hooks over because you have to like attach the ship so they can go at the same clip. Otherwise, they'll move apart. It gets messy. So to board, you hook the ship sort of together, and she will hook them together. Someone will throw a gangplank across.
How many ropes do they throw across? Is this like 20 ropes, or is this like everybody coming across on like 3 or 4? Just curious.
This is like 3. One at the front, one at the back, one in the middle.
It's just hair coming across there, right?
Nope. She's coming across with soldiers.
Wait,
Misha, lead your men.
For sure.
Absolutely not, she calls back. I will not fall into your trap coming aboard by myself.
This is no trap, Misha. You impose yourself on us. Either come on your own or don't come at all.
She
This is
walks
your
across
terms.
and other people are following.
I
She's
cast hold
ignoring
person on the
your
other
term.
people, then.
Nice. Hold person.
I hold
All right.
Wait, hold on.
It's too late.
Wait, no, I don't care. Just stop. I want you, Koibu, right now. Draw us a boat. Draw us the planks. I want to
this-
see where everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go any further on this, okay. You're actually already surrounded by 12 soldiers as they all now take their double attacks at you. Yeah.
This would be as like she's in like I would hope in the middle, and then she says no and takes another step. That's when my hold person goes off at the very least.
Well, that's when we would roll initiative because you still have to cast it, right? It's not like it's a held spell at the tip of your lips. It's you begin to cast.
Yeah.
Sure,
Got
yeah.
a casting time. Ship packs.
I wanted combat anyways. Fuck it.
Fuck these guys.
Are you sure you want to take on
Yes,
20-something people?
100%.
Well, it's got to depend on how you draw the map up, Koibu.
Okay, so here is this. Let's get the ship out to size.
Also, if we do defeat them all, I want XP for beating the enemy ship too. Okay, it counts.
It's got to be at least level 10.
Yeah, we'll have the dwarf chill until we need him to, just so we don't have to split. Why does this motherfucker want to come our ship? And then it's like, I'm not gonna fall into your trap.
I know, yeah.
You came to us, motherfucker.
Yeah, but also, like, she boards, you guys decide to, like, kill her.
I
That's a
guess.
pretty easy ploy. If you are people who are if you are working with her enemies and you're like, yeah, come aboard, but just you. Like, that's the sketch.
It truly isn't sketch, Neal. What sketch is her?
Super sketch.
She is sketch. We are
She's
not.
a sketch
Oh, yeah,
from
of course, she's sketch too. Everything is sketchy going on right now.
We're about to start another war. We're about to be
Nice
fighting two fronts.
Boat dickheads. Look at this shitty boat.
Yeah.
Their boat sucks ass. I could probably tip that over. If you throw a rock at it.
So their boat doesn't look as high as ours, Neal. Are they really coming across on a gangplank, or are they climbing up ropes?
Yeah, it's a it's like a slanted one.
Is
But
it
it's still
slippy?
there.
Is it wet? They having to concentrate? Could they easily fall off?
I suppose it's possible to fall off of a gangplank. It's not got railings for old people or enfeebled presidents. So Anton, Imric, Tyr. Oh my, you guys are a little bit too big.
I would like to position myself.
It's Dark Souls time.
You.
Do you want me to draw the gangplank?
I was just gonna grab a gangplank token, but you can
Is there
doodle
just
it.
one gangplank or multiple?
There is going to be one plank across which they walk, but the boat has. You would expect them to have extras that they could deploy if needed. It would be bizarre for them to only carry one gangplank around.
If you hold person somebody on the gangplank, they're gonna have to like move him out of the way to get past.
Yeah, they will. Because if they push him, he should fall.
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
That's not my fault.
All right, and then we've got one hook over here, one hook over here, And another one right next to the gangplank right here. And we've got our knight. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Should have taken lightning bolt. Could have just killed all 20 of them in one shot.
17.
True.
18.
Neal's gonna learn not to fuck with us.
He won't learn. He's got nothing to lose here. It's a win-win, right? He either kills us or he makes us feel bad for killing. Supposedly
I won't feel
innocent
bad. What do we
NPCs.
We're not killing anybody. We're just holding them. She was trying to step across too quickly for my taste.
Yeah, that does sort of make sense.
Also, I announced myself as a cleric of Althara, so she should have some fucking reverence.
Exactly, and you know, I do not trust Neal not to betray us with this. This is 100%.
Jesus, what is this boat? It's full as fuck.
It's full of XP, Steven.
What are you transporting? Just spearmen.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the spear
Spear.
token. If you want, I can take the time to adjust the tokens on each of them, but that sounds like a pain in the
that's
ass. 1, 2, where's the old man? Oh, the old man is back here. The rest of the crew has gone down below decks. Another really suspicious thing that you've done, you know, send...
No. The captain...
How is it suspicious when we're being boarded, when there's an enemy fucking vessel to send, like, civilians
Wait,
below?
Can you put the dwarf up, too?
Yeah, the dwarf is here, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
right.
nice.
Yes, he is.
He's a level 9 now, too.
Yeah, he's level 19.
He's not level 9, I'm sorry.
He's at least our level.
He's probably 3 or 4.
That's fine.
You've talked to him. You could have gauged his strength. He's a level 3 fighter.
Okay.
Oh, you stick with us, dwarf. We'll get you to be level 5 like us. The 5th circle of power.
Okay. And your dwarf will have 18 hit points. He's got 16 AC, and he uses a one-handed weapon.
Okay.
Excellent. Is this everything? I think this is everything.
I would like them on the gangplank, which bullshit.
Oh, right, because she's partway across, and you're like, just you! And then, like, the first soldier, like, steps across the gangplank.
And then she says, no, fuck that, and continues walking, correct?
Right. And
And
then you go to hold person, so it would probably be looking something like this. And
Can we put them
did
one
mention
step
that they have
back?
crossbows, so let me mark the crossbowmen.
I would argue that she's one step back. She's not like,
Well,
maybe one more
I
step
put her
back.
one step back, and then you said I cast a spell, and she comes forward further, so I moved her 1 foot. Where do you want her to be?
I wanted her to be right here. Because I thought she was here, I thought originally, and then she took a step, so. Yeah, thank you, sorry.
Well, she is walking across, and she's got her troops with her. All right, blue marked people have crossbows. Everyone else is a spearman. And since we have so many enemies, I think we should just roll a d10 for each side, just to see which side goes first. Otherwise, we'll be here for days doing initiative.
We should do D10 plus weapon speed, though. Because otherwise, like, spells have an advantage. They're quicker than melee attacks.
It's very true.
And we're trying to cast a spell to start this off, so I feel like if we roll flat D10s, it's advantaging them.
All right, let's just do initiative for everybody then.
Wait.
Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
Now it sounds like it's gonna be AIDS.
Why can't you just do one, like, D10 plus weapon speed for all of the goons?
Because that is more work than rolling individual initiative for each one of them.
Ah, cool. All right.
Let's go.
All right. If I want to cut the rope here, what is my? I'm just doing a weapon attack.
Yeah, it would be a weapon attack.
I could cast a spell and cut the rope in one turn right now. That shouldn't be a problem.
As long as you are in a non-threatened situation, I think you could cast a spell, and at the very end of the round, you could approach a rope and try and cut it.
Where's our...
But if you're in a situation where, like, they might be attacking. Also, why are you way over here when the rest of the party's down here, Tyrael? Out of curiosity.
Because
why are
you said they were
standing so
throwing
far?
ropes and stuff, so I figured I would walk near where a rope is. I'm gonna try to cut the rope, of course.
Oh, all right, cool. We've rolled initiative.
Did
Let's
you roll the
start
dwarf's
combat.
initiative? Sorry, I didn't.
Wait, why did you
Thank
move
you.
me
No,
not
I
in
did
front of the
not.
rope now, Koibu? I don't want these guys surrounding me.
Sure, whatever.
Okay.
Dwarf rolls in here.
Good. Can I also move the dwarf or no?
No, he's just chilling there. Alrighty. The enemy goes first. Anton goes to cast a spell, and the prepared soldiers who are fighting wars go see what's
I would like to.
The crossbowmen will take some shots at you.
Really?
Absolutely.
How do they know?
You're
I'm
like,
casting
just you. And she's like, because you're a cleric of Elthara.
Yeah.
You're all like, no, don't do it. And then she's
And
like,
then I
I'm going to
start
put it anyway. And then the cleric like goes to grab his amulet, these guys are soldiers in a war where there's magicians and clerics. They know what a cleric looks like when they're casting spells. No
Absolutely
questions.
nuts.
100%. What do you think they are? Like dumb butts?
No, none of your soldiers are Dumbos, Neal. I apologize. All of your soldiers
you.
are correct team.
Thank you. All right. The first guy will take a crossbow shot at Anton,
Aiming up.
which is a 4. 4 to hit. It sails well overhead.
How
Everybody
much
else
cover do
just
I have
queued.
from the ship?
You would probably have about 50% cover from the height of the railing. Ooh, is ship
Nice.
railing? No, it's railing, not planking.
Should be 25% cover.
You really gonna?
Yeah. Let me just take a quick look at a ship's sideboard. Still a few pictures of old sailing ships lying around. Oh no, it looks like it's only really gonna. It's not. It's gonna be nothing for coverage, really. You got like a little beam as a handrail, but otherwise, like the coverage really only comes up to your shins or something.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a 4. It's a miss. Woo! The rest of the soldiers are preparing to move, and Imric will take his turn.
I cast mirror image and I go over here and cut this rope.
The movement and rope cutting will happen at the end of the round, but you can mirror image yourself with how many images do you have?
At the end of the round. Why can't I do it on my turn?
Because that's.
I get it. I thought you meant that I have to cast the spell first and then I can do it.
No, at the end of the round, the spell casting section says if nothing else is going on, spellcasters might be able to get a move at the very end of the turn. I'm looking up the spell section right here.
Really?
Spells and combat. Touch spells, missile weapons. That's just touch spells. Where is it? Yeah, because spellcasting is a no-move action, and then if you're at the very end of the round, you might be able to get a little bit of movement, and since this ship is not huge, you should be able to make that. 107 and 111. 107. Casting spells. Once the character has begun, the caster must stand still. Casting cannot be accomplished while riding a roughly moving beast or vehicle, unless special efforts are made. Thus, the spellcaster cannot cast from the back of a galloping horse. Blah 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 blah. During the round in which a spell is cast, the caster cannot move to dodge attacks. Therefore, no AC benefit from dexterity is gained by spellcasters while casting spells. Furthermore, if a spellcaster is struck by a weapon or fails to make a saving throw before the spell is cast, the caster's concentration is disrupted. The spell is lost in a fizzle of useless energy and is wiped clean from the memory of the caster until it can be rememorized. That's not the movement. Is that the next page? Combat tactics?
Look at what you did, Nick.
Sorry. Should have just
No.
lightning bolted them.
There we go. No move actions. Casting a spell. Even if a character chooses any of the no-move actions during her turn, she can still adjust her position during the action phase, which we're not using these phases. So you can, like, change the way that you're facing after casting a spell. Movement initiative. I guess I don't want to have to find it, but you can trust me. You can move at the very end of the round, not the end of the turn.
Oh, I believe you, Koibu.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Where were you? You were here?
He was in front of me.
You were here? All right. And you got 5.
No, I think he was up here.
Was I? I think I was here, yeah.
Okay. You have 5 mirror images, so I'm just going to actually put a bunch of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's good, Nick. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay. And you are one of these.
Mm-hmm.
That is Imric's turn. Misha goes next. She will almost halt as she comes across the deck, but as you duplicate yourself and as the cleric is casting spells, she steps forward and makes her first sword swipe, which is 17 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
Yeah, 7 on top of the D10.
D10.
So the 10 on the D20 plus 7 is 17. Words hard. Give me a D5. On a 1, she strikes you. On anything else, she hits a mirror. Boop. Mirror is gone. She steps into its place. Soldier. Next soldier will take a crossbow shot, also at Anton, with a 6 to hit. Miss. Next soldier will take a crossbow shot at Anton with a natural 1. This guy will move across the board and take a stab with a 12 against you, Anton, which is Imric, which is a miss.
Yep, miss.
And our dwarf will go. Huffing and puffing, round the mast he comes, getting into a flanking position on Misha. No questions asked. You can't trust the Akubans. He swipes with a 2, 3, 4 is going to be a 4 on 8 is a 12 is a miss. Whoosh. And next person is going to be a crossbow shot. This one over here at Tyrael. 19.
Nope.
No good. Crossbow shot at Tyrael. 14.
No.
Crossbow shot at Nick with an 18.
That hits.
Give me a D4.
It's D5 now. There was 5 images, so there was 6 of us.
Oh, you're right. You're so smart.
No hit.
Okay. Ba-doop. And Anton, your spell goes off.
Casting it on 2 people, so they have to roll a saving throw at -1.
And there are other people who are on the gangplank by now, so you can go ahead and target which ones you would like. I just haven't been moving, there's too many.
Then I guess I'll cast it at 4, or there shouldn't be a reason that I should. Let me just.
It's not worth the -1 to only cast on 2.
Yeah. Also, I'll cast it on all 4 then, if I am allowed. 1d4
Okay.
first at a 20-foot cube. So yeah, I'll cast it on all 4.
Go for it.
I don't think I have to roll anything. I think.
Oh, you don't have to roll for it. It's not a D4. It's just at 4 people.
Oh fuck. Oh no, I think you're right. I do have to roll for it. Sorry, it's been a
I think it's a D4. Yeah.
while. So 3 people will get
3.
hit. for the
We
first
get the
3.
first 3. I'll roll the D20 for the knight. Her saving throw. D20 is a 19. She'll pass. The second guy is a 6. The third guy is an 8. So the 2 dudes behind her will be held. She, however, will not be.
That's fine.
So-
There should be some shenanigans here because it's going to be
Mhm.
really hard to move past Hell Person. But yep. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
This map is to scale, right?
Yes. Tyrael, take your turn.
I will take a swing at this. Do I
You're
need...
not threatened. You can just cut it.
Okay, yeah.
If you were in combat, if there was someone at you, actually, you are being shot at by bolts, which you are actively trying to dodge.
Yeah, I'll cut it then.
Yeah.
What's my 2 hit?
I think it's just going to be a regular attack roll, and I think rope AC is screen.
Just don't roll a 1.
Rope has 2 to 4 hit points, and you just need a 10 to hit it.
Okay. What do I get for critting the rope? The shockwave from the
roll
rope.
Any dice you
The
want.
rope
The
should
rope
snap back and hit somebody in the face.
The pressure of the rope whips back towards one of the archers, whapping him in the face, sending him tumbling to the deck before he regains his
Does
balance.
this cause the ship to like move like this, Neal?
Not yet, but it will begin to drift if motion is applied to the ships. And they're kind of in motion, so yeah, eventually the back will start to swing away and the front will swing towards you.
The people who are held and the guy on the plank might have to fall, and the plank might move.
Most definitely. Okay, we've got two crossbowmen left. One on each, one at the top, one at the back. So one more shot at Tyrael with a 13, and one shot at 2 spellcasters. But there's 4 of one and 1 of the other, so they'll go at the spellcaster that is there only one of, and roll a 5 against you.
Not today.
So, end of the round, the enemy will drag out a second gangplank, because the people who can't do the thing with that.
I cut this rope on my turn.
All right, end of the round, you can cut that rope. It is gone. And 2 more gangplanks are thrown down. Let's roll initiative.
Does it look like after you cut the rope, I imagine, are there going to be more ropes coming across, or was this like, this came from a grappling hook? I don't know how many more. Does it look like someone else is preparing?
Oh, they will definitely have other grappling hooks, and if you look into their masses, you can see them preparing to board with grappling hooks again.
Okay. I'll roll to hit.
All right, everyone rolled initiative?
Yep. I am rolling for a command spell, by the way.
Excellent. Imric, you go first.
All right, I step to the edge here on the gangplank, like not on the gangplank, but just the edge, so I'm still on the ship.
Right.
And I will draw my bag of coloured sand and colour spray in a 20-foot cube and try and hit like all 6 of these. So it's D6.
It's a 20-foot wedge, right?
Yeah, 20 by 20.
Okay. So you can hit these guys, no problem. This guy. These guys in the back row
maybe
are
not,
range, but you can
not
hit
this one. Not the like this guy.
20.6. Why don't you just walk further onto the gangplank?
No, it's alright. I'll roll a
you
D6. I'll only hit him if I roll a 6 here, which I probably won't. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Ah, shit.
Yep. You color spray one person. They are out for what's the duration? He's just knocked unconscious.
Yeah, he's just knocked.
2d4 rounds. Yeah.
I think it's 2d4, is it?
Yeah, that sounds right. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Next soldier will hop to the board. Oops, you guys are all... And scurry across, leveling his spear at you and trying to run you through with a 17 to hit.
That hits.
That will hit. And I guess we still roll the D5, a D4 now?
D4, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of you moving around. 1. It is you he hits. And he will do 2d4 damage. You will take 2 plus 2 for 4 points of damage as he guts you. Next guy scurries across. And we'll scurry to here. And this guy will scurry to here. And they will get behind your dwarf lord and take 2 stabs at him. 1 with a 5, 6, 7 with back attack. 16, 17, 18, 20 total will hit but not crit the dwarf for 2 and 3, 5 damage. Imric.
Nope.
No?
He
went so
put it on there
close,
twice.
Oh, you already went. Okay, you're on here twice. Got it. Then next guy is back here. He will very carefully try to, like, he throws his spear back on the deck, brings his arms underneath his buddy's, frozen body, and tries to drag him held back onto the boat. I'm going to give him a dex check because dragging a person across a gangplank while in the middle of the high
moving
seas
ships
is tough. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy thing.
Attached.
All right. So he will drag and do this. That is his whole turn. Anton.
I'm going to point. I'm casting command, which should have no saving throw if she has less than 13 intelligence or less than 6 hit die. And I'm going to I'm going to say surrender at the night.
Okay. Here's her intelligence score. 8. And she is less than 6 hit dice, so no saving throw whatsoever.
So no, it's done.
She tosses her sword to the ground and throws up her arms in surrender.
And I'll yell at the rest of them, follow suit! And at the end of the round, I'll have movement, so I'll kick her sword away.
This is definitely an opportunity for us to roll a morale check here, because we're in war. They are aware that there are spellcasters and clerics, and these things can be done. However, when your commander surrenders, you generally surrender as well. But they're facing a cleric, so we're going to use a morale check to see if they can,
piece it together.
If they feel like it's a spell, or if they feel like they should follow the orders. It's a roll of 2d10, and we want to roll below. A roll below the morale value means they pass. A roll above means they fail. And soldiers, not a sailor.
Will we have any bonuses on this since it is their commanding officer surrendering?
Yeah. A soldier has 11 morale, and we're going to have some modifiers here. Let's see. So 11, they've not been abandoned by their friends. Their most powerful ally is not killed. Leader. They outnumber their opponents 3-1. So they get a +2 to the morale, which brings it to 13. However, there is a spellcaster on the other side, so they get a -2, so they're back to 11.
Is that stacked with 2 spellcasters on the other side, or no?
No, it's just if there's magic on the other side. Let's see. Creature was not surprised. No extra checks. No defensive terrain advantage. Not really defending a home. None of these things other apply, so it's just going to be a 2d10. They want 11 or lower. Why don't you roll it, Anton, since you're the one casting the spell? Above an 11, and they fail the morale.
Nope.
All right, they hold fast. They think it's a ploy or something else is going on. And either way, they've got the numbers. They can rescue their captain, even if you've taken her hostage. Okay. But she will lose her round and is disarmed. Next soldier will come aboard. He's actually going to go past the dwarf and try and push his way up here to fight Tyrael.
Opportunity.
This dwarf can see it coming. He's probably positioned so he's facing the this way because he's right between the two. So as the one guy runs past him, he'll take an attack of opportunity, a swipe with a 20-something to hit, easily whapping the guy for 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage, which will not quite kill him. There we go.
When did this guy run up to me? Who is this guy next to me?
Oh, this is one of the soldiers coming across. He's here to kill you.
Oh.
Levels a spear at you and tries to run you through with it with a 7 to hit. No good. And it just becomes your turn, Tyrael.
Where is is there like a rudder for steering this ship?
It's the wheel, which is right here.
Can I run past this guy and just yoink it to the right to separate the two ships? I rolled to attack, but yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. Yeah, you can move over here. Which way do you want to change the... You want to spin the wheel to the right so the front goes away?
Well, so assuming that they don't get the opportunity to spear our ship, is this called pitting? I don't know, but like if they're going forward and we're steering into them and we clearly have the larger ship, I'm not a sailor. My assumption would be that like we were gonna fuck their shit up and our ship should be okay. They have a very narrow frigate. like steering through their ship, we should be relatively unscathed. Maybe there'll be some minor hull damage, but not like we're sinking.
You have the larger ship, so if you bump into them like side to side, you'll be in a favorable condition and they will be unfavorable. They have a ship of war, so they probably just below the surface have a long ram, which they might use if they like hit you this way to sink your ship. But if you like bump side to side, it could be bad for them.
Yeah, I want to steer to the left into their ship. I imagine as I start to steer left, they'll pull ahead a little bit, so my goal is to make contact like right here. Obviously, I'm not going to have precise control of this, but that's what I would imagine would happen, yeah?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can go to the wheel and you can give it a nice big flip and spin.
Okay. Also,
that's not even a full round action. You can continue to make your attack as well.
Yeah, okay. I'll come behind this guy. I'll attack him first. I don't think I get any bonuses because he should follow me, right?
He'll turn to face you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'll take a swing at him. 22 to hit.
Oh my god, nice. He's dead.
You gut the sailor.
Do I damage his 8?
8 will do it. He will drop dead. The first person to die.
Okay, and then I'm going to swing this wheel to the left to take our ship into them, to detach the gangplanks. The grappling hooks would remain, although they would not be taut, and that's what I'll do for this turn.
Alrighty. More soldiers come across. The dwarf will get a second attack of opportunity as the guy runs right past him. It's another 20-something, whapping the sailor for minimum damage, 4 damage, which actually is enough to kill this one guy.
That's good.
Who had no HP.
Are the gangplanks fucked up at all now that the ship has just been like kind of drastically turned?
The ship is turning. I was going to do the gangplanks at the end of the round because everyone's moving and it takes a little while. So that soldier's dead. This is a crossbowman who will take a shot at Tyrael. A 12, no good. Next one is a crossbowman on the top who will take a shot at one of these wizards. With a 10? Does it have to hit your AC, or does that just have to...
It has to hit AC.
Okay. Next crossbowman shoots at Tyrael with a 12.
Well, for the record, we've said it has to hit, like if you were wearing armor...
Your dex AC.
Yeah, but all my AC comes from magic, so...
Yeah, it has to hit your touch AC, which is 16 for you. This one up here will shoot an Imric for a 20.
Okay, that hits.
Will hit you. Give me that D4.
Nope.
All right, drops an image. Down here, this guy will grab his companion, make a dex check, and drag him back to safety.
They're done for 5 rounds, so this should be round... At the end of this, I think it'll be round 1 for them.
The held people.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. Okay. Next crossbowman fires across the planks. It is a 14 against you.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. This guy is held. Or not held. What do you call it? Color sprayed.
Imric, can you move
Yes.
one of your... Or can you move in between me and the knight? Next round, I'm gonna cast a dictate.
This is a 16 against the soldier.
There's not really a space for me there.
6 damage.
I can move at the end of the round as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Wounding that soldier. Another crossbowman at Tyrael with an 8.
No.
I think they're getting the picture that Tyrael's AC is maybe a little bit too high, but they're rolling shitty. Next crossbowman at Tyrael with a 15, also a miss. Soldier comes across. I'm going to put this guy way in the back. And stands over the body of his friend, trying to stab your dwarf companion with a 12. No dice. Oh, last crossbowman is going to fire at the back of the dwarf. 15, 16 will just barely hit the dwarf from behind for 7 points of damage, max damage.
Careful with our dwarf here.
He is near to dying. I just forgot to skip ahead. Sorry, that wasn't at the dwarf. That was at one of the Imrics. I got my order mixed up a little bit.
What did they roll?
Imric, give me another 17. Oh wait, but they wouldn't have had back attack, so it would have been a 15, and that's a miss.
Miss.
There we go then. Misha, their commander, loses her turn this round, and the next soldier runs his way across, hops over here, and tries to skewer the cleric with his spear. 16 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, that's everyone.
At the end of the turn, sorry, I said this. I was gonna kick the. I guess I'll grab her weapon.
Wait, are we at the next turn yet, or are we at the end of this turn still?
I'm at the very end of this one.
Okay, because I have a second attack as well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab her weapon, and I have movement, correct? If I want.
Yeah, if you're gonna the weapon's on the ground at her, and this soldier still has a weapon. So if you want to, you'll take the attack. Okay.
I'll grab it.
It is a 18.
Nope.
All right.
And I'm going to step back this way.
Sure. And you already have provoked the AO, so you have her weapon.
I toss her weapon overboard. If
Okay,
that's
you just
allowed as
chucked
well.
it into the sea. That's
Chucked
perfect. That's perfect. Because you got your sword, your
I don't
spear,
wanna do-
and your
yeah.
yeah. So you just chuck the weapon overboard.
I want that shit gone.
All right.
Wait, what is it, like a super magical weapon?
Too late. It's overboard.
Not anymore. In the sea now.
It's probably another +1.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Second attack. Tyrael.
Second attack, Tyrael.
I will come down here. We don't get our attacks didn't increase being a next level fighter, right? We didn't gain another.
Yeah. No, you should have got +1 to hit.
Or no, I mean like the like we didn't get like on the fighter table. Isn't it like number of attacks per round with a sword increases to 2 at some point?
Level 7.
That's level 7.
Level
Okay,
7.
just make sure. All right. I'll come down here then, and then I will attack. Oh wait, there's 3 of these guys right now, right?
Yes.
3 living ones. Do I get +1 to hit, or do I get like a back attack on all of these guys since they're fighting the?
You can get a flank on this guy and a high ground on this guy for a total bonus of 2.
Total bonus of 2. All right, I will.
Amber, can you move one of your people in front of me as well?
20 to hit then.
That'll do it.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
4 damage.
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
And party members, let's roll some initiative.
Wait, are we seeing the ship move here?
Yes, the ship will turn. That's a great point. Let's not forget about that. The bow will doot. Oops, that didn't work. Will turn like this, and I guess relative positioning, it might fall just a little bit behind as things do their thing. Now this is just awkward as everyone
These 2
shuffles
gangplanks
around.
are gone.
I do believe the front gangplank will slide. I'm going to make just some saving throws for the gangplanks. This back one definitely falls into the sea. The front one...
Okay, wait. Be better in mind as well.
Like-
Our large ship is moving. They're attached to ours by a single rope in the middle of our ship. Like, the waves that are going to be caused by our ship moving, I feel is going to, like, move their ship around loads. There's no way these gangplanks have a good chance of staying in place. They have to have a good chance.
Or they need like
Right, they're
decks.
going to have a terrible chance of staying in place.
Yeah, they're most likely going to fall.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you roll me 2d20? They each need a 16 or higher to stay in place.
we sure
Some
want
way.
Nick to roll it. They're
do
both
it.
gonna stay. Go do it.
No, you do it.
No, I want to
roll
see you
it,
do it,
Nick.
Nick. Roll it. Roll it, Nick.
Come on, Nick.
So what do I need? They both need to be above 16, and this is for each one. 2d20.
16 or above for each one to stay in place.
Oh, okay.
Oh. No, it was just a
Roll it
1d20.
Just one, just-
Fine. They all go down.
You got it.
I got it. Don't worry.
Which means one man will fall into the sea as the ship turns. He just tumbles into the water. Everyone else stays on this ship. It looks like maybe the positioning gets mixed up. The ship rocks. Everyone gets moved around slightly.
Initiative?
We roll, right?
Do you think that has a chance, or is that good on?
The rope, yeah, I will have the rope make a saving throw versus crushing blow. Let's see. Rope versus crushing blow. It needs to roll a 1 on a d20 to break at this point. So, go for it. Actually, no, that's not crushing blow. This is a different sort of tension, right? Pulling is not the same as pushing.
No, I've got the one here anyway. Don't worry. Oh, a 5.
How is the rope attached to their ship? Is someone holding it? Is it another?
No, it's
thread?
attached to what do you call it? A belaying pin?
So
a
rope.
specific thing that you'd use to tie the rope to.
Do you think a 5 works or no?
Yeah, I think a 5 would probably break that.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for a more appropriate save, but we don't have one. Yeah, I think the rope, either the rope will break or one of the pieces of wood to which the rope is attached will snap, and this section will go away. The cries from the sailors on the other side as the boat split apart are, I don't know, music to your ears, I would hope or assume.
Wow.
There are 4 enemies left on your ship, 1 man in the water, and what is that, like 12 on their side? Let's roll initiative.
I already rolled.
I did too.
Thank you. Thank you. And Nick goes at 10. So what are they going to do?
They're gonna get
Actually,
fucked.
Misha should have a 4 because she doesn't have her weapon, so she's rolling with 3 initiative. So Misha, their knight will go first. She's going to take a look at the situation. The tides have changed. Her people can probably reattach and pull back on, but this is not the sort of situation she was hoping. So she'll grab a morale check as well.
She's fucking with the cleric of Elthara too. She's not getting off easy on this one.
Okay. It's a 15. You've already disarmed her. She's alone here. She will keep her hands up, turn and call back to her people to, lower the bows, stand down, and, yell at her soldiers here to stand down on your side of the ship as well. Put your arms down. Stop the bloodshed.
Well, I have a dictate ready, so I would like to at least get my XP for that one.
You're just going to keep casting your spell then?
Yeah.
That might continue the battle.
Yeah,
She's calling for a truce right now, and you can end it if you do nothing.
Well, she's calling for a truce, and I'm doing my shit, so.
Okay. She surrenders and calls for a truce. I guess everyone's going to hold their action for just a moment to see what's going on. And you cast a spell.
My dictate will be throw your weapons overboard at them.
Imric will technically go before you. Imric, were you going to do something?
Oh, I technically go first, do I? Okay, so they're all not doing anything.
Yeah, the Akubins are holding action, not like stopping, but bows are aimed, spears are readied to be thrown or stabbed. Gangplanks are grabbed, grappling hooks are spinning.
All
but
right,
they take a pause.
So I was reaching into my bag for a little jar of molasses, and instead I'll let it there, and I'll turn to the captain and say, "We accept your surrender. Sheathe your weapons, and you may live."
Tyrael, you're the next person in the party to go.
I'll lower my sword and back up a bit.
Okay. The dwarf sees what's going on, and he will step to the first soldier and take his spear and toss it to the deck, and then move to the next soldier and take his spear and toss it to the deck, and then Anton goes.
I do. Throw your weapons overboard. I dictated to these people again.
You're gonna let your spell resolve?
Yes, Koibu, I am.
Okay.
That's EXP, baby.
All right, well then, we have a whole bunch of crossbow bolts coming your way. If it's clear you're going to keep casting spells, they are not going to bite it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What are you doing? They're just going to cancel your spell.
They're not going to hit me, Nick.
Okay. You have got good AC.
All right, all 8 crossbowmen go before you, and well, it looks like everybody's standing down except for the cleric of Elthara. The 8 crossbowmen all fire. They have +2 on this attack roll, so I'm just going to do 8d20. What's your AC?
22.
Oh, they need a natural 20 to hit you?
You got
They're
this.
hitting me, Neal.
Easy.
Not a 1. Not a 1. A flurry of quarrels come your way, peppering around you, blocking off of your shield, hitting the mast, hitting the deck.
I'll say, Velthara commands you to throw your weapons overboard.
Tell us about Dictate. How does it work?
They have a save to negate. It's up to 6 people in a 20-foot cube. So, okay. Well, I guess One,
Caster is
two,
not
three,
limited to a single
five.
word, can issue an order of no more than a dozen words in length. All specified targets who fail their saving throw must attempt to obey the caster's instructions. Throw down your weapons.
So I'm gonna do
Seize
it.
that
Whoever has a weapon in like a 20-foot cube or whatever, that is an enemy, obviously.
Right. So you could do these. This is 6 right here.
I'll do those. Yeah.
These 4 have weapons. This guy's held. This guy has a weapon.
Yep, I'll do those.
Okay, perfect. Let's do 60, 20. They are all... I'm going to give them first level fighter saves because they're not quite fighters, but they're like good warriors. They need a 17 or higher to pass. 1 pass. The last one, who will be the bottom right guy. Okay.
Wait, there's a 1 in 6 chance that that's the guy who's held and couldn't throw his weapon anyway.
You're right. You're right. Roll a 1 on a d6, and it's the guy who's held, and it doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
Good thinking, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay, so this guy still has his weapon. The others drop them down, and...
Overboard, by the way.
Oh, you said overboard?
Yeah, throw your weapons overboard.
Ooh, they chuck them in the water. That leaves us with 2 disarmed people on your boat, 2 armed people on your boat, and 2 armed people on their side. Plus their crossbowmen.
They have lost.
Yeah, it's over.
3 of their crossbowmen.
It's over. They stand down. They stand down.
What's going on with the
Misha.
ships right now?
They careen into each other. They kind of like... But they're sort of moving the same direction. It's not going to be a heavy blow since no one's on a gangplank anymore and everyone's kind of in a stable fighting position. I don't think anyone's going to get knocked into the water. They will break a few oars, and it's going to take maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes or so to realign everything. So that gives you 10 minutes of basic free action on this ship without them being able to intervene in any way, shape, or form.
I'll look to Misha.
10
Apparently,
minutes on the
Valsthara
clock.
shines on me today, sister.
Take me, spare my men.
I'll look to Tyrael.
What was your purpose for boarding our ship today? First, I would like to
inspect your
move Misha.
cargo.
Hold on. I want to move Misha to the center of the ship so she doesn't
Bro.
zazz herself overboard. Okay?
True. Genius.
Let's tie up all the men. Look where my cursor is. I want all the men to be sitting down on
Tied
their...
up around this.
I don't give a fuck if these guys are... Yeah, but she is tied up to the middle. Okay?
Okay, so you put her to the mast. The dwarf
Right.
will have disarmed these people, have them facing away and kneeling so he can stand behind them with his axe, and if they do anything, he can chop them.
Gotcha.
Are we taking these guys prisoners? What are
No,
we doing about
we're
the
not
rest
doing
of the
anything.
boat?
We're just asking questions.
Do you have a twang
Nick,
of royalty or no?
Nick, come over here.
Yes.
She is noble for certain, but not, you know...
Noble.
She's
Yes.
definitely in the nobility. It would be hard to tell if she's in royalty. It doesn't even sound like the Akubans have royalty.
Good.
They're a weird state.
They're degenerate fucks. We don't care
So
about them.
I come over to the mast and say, "Oh, so Tyrael, finally found yourself a wife."
Good one, Imric. This one looks like more of a drinker than me, though. Okay. I would like to nod at Imric, and he'll understand as I'm nodding at him because we've done this a million times now, that anytime I ask her a question, he's verifying that the answer is factual because of his ESP amulet, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, so I ask her, what purpose do you have for boarding our ship today? And she
Make
responds,
sure you're not bringing weapons, supplies, or aid to the enemy.
and then I look to Imric for a nod.
She's telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
How did you spot our
I
boat
know
today
that.
traveling through these seas?
A spyglass?
Yeah, look at Imric.
Accurate.
Not.
Okay, why the fuck are we traveling through these seas if we know this is possible? Why would they send us on a death mission? This seems really fucking stupid. I don't understand. Why should we have to think
What do you
about
mean?
this? What?
What do you mean?
I'm asking, like, it sounds like the royalty was like, okay, go sail around, good luck. And, like, nobody mentioned or said anything about, like, oh, by the way, you're going through, like, dangerous, like, war waters. The Akubans are probably going to try to fuck your shit up because you could be shipping illegal supply. Like, no one thought about this? We don't have, like, a faster ship or fighting men on board or...
Why are we getting shitty ships? Why aren't we getting the fastest frigate in the land? We want to be going quicker.
Yeah, what the fuck? I got more problems right now with the crown than I do with these Akubians. These guys are just doing their jobs. That's okay. I don't care about that. Misha, I search her. Does she have her spyglass on her? She should have one.
No.
She use it. Really?
She does not have her. Actually, no. It would be her that has it, probably.
Yeah,
not
it
one of
would.
the other sailors. Yeah, you'll find it tucked away.
I steal that from her. I steal her 500 GP spyglass from her belt. Does she have any other goods on her? Any other magical appearing rings or amulets or necklaces or brooches, any bras, any fucking shit like that?
Does she have plate
She
on?
has no obvious magical items on her. However, she does have a valuable necklace and 3 rings.
A valuable necklace and 3 rings.
Brother,
Yes.
take that.
I ask her, what are the function of these rings, this necklace?
The necklace, you can see, has a symbol of Bellum, god of war, on it. And she, will point to it, or as you point to it, say, that is of my patron deity, Bellum, god of war, the one who I serve to smite my enemies.
I shake my head.
Interesting.
This ring is my wedding ring, she says, holding up one finger. And these 2 are, what would you call them, heirlooms of my family's. My mother's wedding ring before me, and her mother's before her.
All right, I say to her, I'm going to cast a detect magic spell. And I cast.
Wait, can't we just ask her if any of her are magical, and then you can ESP her brain? Why would we?
He wants XP, baby.
Do you get XP?
I mean,
Okay.
no,
Man, fuck
I
it.
do, guys. That's not why. It's just,
Well, then fuck it. Detect magic on all these fools. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
detect
you
magic.
can throw down a detect magic and find she is magicless at the
Okay.
moment.
I shake my head at Tyrell and say, nah, nothing she's got's magical. Look, we can take the spyglass so they can't catch us again, but are we really going to rob these people? Should we not just send them back to the ship and get on our way?
Steal her great-grandmother's wedding ring. I think that would be proper vengeance for attacking us randomly in the water. Maybe she'll
You
think
attacked us.
We did not attack you. You boarded our ship with 20 soldiers. What did you expect us to do?
Let us search your ship, and then
Why?
we would have let you on your way. You are merchants passing through our waters. Is it not obvious?
Do we look like merchants to you?
Not
Just
you,
picture us.
but your ship does.
Listen,
Who are you?
I turn to Anton. I say, I won't stand in the way of your vengeance. If you wish to take her ring, then so be it. But
We're not gonna
don't
steal
believe-
this lady's wedding and grandparents' rings. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. We're like totally in the wrong here, right? We are. I don't know why we did. I need to think more. I'll think more about our next journeys. Okay. I don't know what. Well, because like there's wars going on. I'm pretty sure in another campaign, one of our ideas was literally to impersonate like illegal weapons trading merchants or whatever. Like they have every right to search our ship. Like what we like, it makes sense why they would want to. They're not really in the wrong here. They didn't do anything bad. We kind of just attacked them and fucked all their shit up.
Oh, well, fuck 'em.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
whole,
so-
lot, a whole lot of not our problem.
I think like 3 of them have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've taken minor casualties. And if you try, one of those people is at like 0 HP. You could bandage his wounds. Maybe they'll only suffer 2 casualties. You might even be able to save one of them if there's a healing spell around.
Yeah, I guess.
Anton, Anton, can you heal these men?
I'll heal the one that's down. I'm not gonna heal the random ones who are chilling.
Why not heal them all?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
experience, isn't it?
I don't know if I
No.
can.
We're out of combat.
Okay.
It's-
Oh, who cares? Heal them all then. Why not? It's a sign of good faith.
Who are you people?
Wait,
clearly not
hold on,
merchant.
but this looks so bad now because we're sailing under an official what are we? Not Akubian, not Drakissian. Drakissian?
Yeah.
We're sailing under an
guys are-
official Drakissian flag now. We've just destroyed the fuck out of some poor Akubian scouts, and now we're just setting up.
There is bad blood between your 2 nations.
Yeah.
They had they ambushed you. Got ambushed. They blitzkrieged your nation a couple hundred years ago and took over half of Drekis before eventually being routed. And ever since then, there has been really bad blood between Akuba and Drekis. No
Okay.
treaties, no organization.
Understood. We're going to release them. Okay. How many sails does this ship have? Should be like
Doesn't
your
remember.
ship has
their
2
ship.
masts. Oh, 1 mast.
Can we damage a mast so the ship's ability to move is greatly impeded, but not such that they'll be stranded forever here?
Absolutely. They have oars and a mast, so if you destroy their sail or their mast, they'll move more slowly. But
Okay.
they'll still have oar power so they can get around.
Because I want to be able to traverse all of these waters without them being able to sail back, alert everybody, and then come fuck us up for real. Does that make sense? That should be possible, doable? Or I'll ask the captain. Okay, they're all tied up. We'll help you, men. We'll fix you up. This doesn't need to come to the bloodshed that it has come to. We'll set you free. I'm going to keep the spyglass because I don't want you guys trailing us for obvious reasons. We're going to destroy your mast because we can't have you going back to your shore, alerting a whole bunch of other ships to come chase us. We'll be back in a moment. We'll return you, all of your men to your ship, and then we'll all be on our way. Does that sound good to you? Misha?
You'll return me to my men?
We'll return you to your men. We have no use for keeping you. We don't mean any of these issues. Our job wasn't to come here, destroy a bunch of Akubian soldiers. We're just sailing around this peninsula or whatever this is. We don't want any trouble.
It's just a terrible
Most honorable.
misunderstanding.
What?
It's just
Most
a terrible
honorable.
misunderstanding. Oh,
We
sorry.
are misunderstood. Yeah. What kind of the sword that you tossed overboard? Is that a special sword to you?
My father's sword.
That's the vengeance I needed. I'll
What
laugh.
kind of sword?
Anton will laugh.
An arming sword forged by the dwarves of Keldaram.
Not a magical sword?
No.
Okay. You and your father's memory will be just fine then. I'm sure he'd prefer the life of his daughter to the existence of some corroded sword. You're fine. Okay. I would like to go
Who
below.
are you?
Don't worry about who we are. We are the people that are sending you back to your ship, and we're going
I
to sail
am.
around. You kind of lost the right to ask us any questions when you boarded our ship and lost the fight, so you're just going to go on your way. You're going to be thankful that we're releasing you, and we're all just going to pretend this never happened.
This goes a lot better for you if you just stop with the questions.
Well, you
Just
can ask
leave,
as many questions as
Take
you
our
want. but-
generosity.
Yeah. I would like to go below deck, bring back up the captain and everything to make sure that our ship is on track. I would like to ask him before we come back up deck, Captain, hello. If we disabled their mast, do you think that would give us ample time to clear this entire... this is a peninsula, right? Can I call this a peninsula? This whole thing down here?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, will we have time to clear like these Akubian lands before they can make it back on oar power alone?
He takes a look at their oars. He suggests you break a few of their oars as well. You know, or chuck them overboard so they have to spend an hour fishing them out of the water.
Okay,
We'll
break a
talk-
few
yeah.
oars. Break a few oars. Have 6 or whatever. Work your way back. We'll do that, okay? We'll do that before we send them back to their ship, okay?
Misha will tell you as she reboards her ship that there will be other patrol vessels in the area, other Gildaran ships. As you reach the north and go past Zakit and Styro, that you may encounter other Shazarans.
Then you're going to
Those
give
are
us
the
a
cities
note
they
of
hold.
passage through here that you've already searched us and we're good to go. I'll hand her some parchment.
Do you think... Yeah. Wow.
She will write you a message saying that, you know, she writes it in a Kuban because there's no guarantee that anyone else here is going to be speaking Drakisian, and tells you that it says she boarded your ship, searched it, and it has you know, no supplies for the enemy.
All right, we got the hall pass. We're good.
Give her a wink.
Okay.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Sorry that it came to this bloodshed here. Are the men actually dead, or shouldn't they be making death saving throws? Can we resurrect any of the people in there?
There were, I think, 3 dead folks. One of them got to 0 exactly. One
Heal
of them
them.
I'll heal
was,
them.
Thrown. One fell overboard.
yeah, one of them was down to like -2, and then the other was like at -8, so he's probably dead by now. But the one at -2 you could have saved. So we'll get 1 dead person, 1 guy overboard who will get was saved to be rescued before he drowns. No, he drowned. It's too late for him.
I nod to Emmerich. She's writing the correct like note, right? She's not like
Yeah,
writing.
I speak a Cuban, so I'll read them out once she
Okay,
writes
okay.
it.
Yeah, the section about searching your ship for the wares is not actually entirely accurate. She says that she encountered you and trusts that you are not here for to support the enemy.
Good enough.
I make a
right?
show of reading it in a Cuban in front of her, and then I'll nod back to Tyrion and say, seems fine.
She is appropriately shamed before you for being caught in her lie.
Yeah.
I'll
All right,
shake my head.
can we make a move on? I'm sick of looking at their faces. Can we get them back to their pathetic boats and move on?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you said that you were under Valthara's flag? Alas.
Our ship, our fleet.
You
is
brought
the-
great shame upon Valthara today. I'll shake my head at her and send her off.
Sad.
The Akubans, cowed now, depart, and you guys are free to sail around the rest of the Akuba without problem.
Good.
Do we have another... We sleep on the boat, right? So I'm going to just switch out
Mm-hmm.
slow for lightning bolt just in case we get attacked again.
Okay. Yep. You will indeed pass by a few other ships. You'll see a small fleet kind of hanging around near Zacket, and one of the ships, very similar to the last one you saw, will make way for you. But with your note in hand, the situation can be navigated fairly easily and peacefully. If you guys want to delve into it, we can, or we can just hand wave it.
No, we just
hand wave it.
I don't know. How many people do they have on their ship? How many fighters? No, okay, yeah, we're good.
It'll be similar. Yeah. All right. Some week and a half later or something, you guys will arrive in Drunsbar. There is a bit of a storm. I just want to mention in the Saren Strait. I've already rolled some dice to take care of it, so it doesn't bother you. But this area here is pretty dicey when it comes to passages. But you can pass without any problem, so we don't have to worry about it.
As we go by Yetl, I'll ask the captain, what is Yetl, and then what is Thadenmod?
Well, Yetel is the easternmost Akuban city, built on the border of the Sindori River, what just generally marks the edge of Elven lands. Thadenlod is one of the Elven towns, well-defended towns to keep the Akubans on watch, at bay. It's the only Elven town separated from the Great Forest.
Have you heard any tales of people visiting there? I've never met an elf before.
I have never visited. The Sindori River has too many rapids to bring a ship up or down, so I know of no sailor who has been there before.
Interesting.
Strange people, the elves.
I wouldn't mind meeting one day.
Well, you'll be at Drunsbar. There'll be half elves there.
Really?
And the Elven Wood is not too far.
Say, Captain, what's on these two little islands here by the Scorpnar Peninsula? Santry Island, Hootsweat Island. Anything
I think
interesting?
they're relatively uninhabited, at least by, sentient folk. I've never made port here. I've seen no smoke rising from them. I have no idea what they hold.
Interesting. Well,
this area is actually quite hot and dry, as appropriate by the color. All right, yeah, you guys will arrive in Drunsbar. You can deport, dismount. What do you call it? Disembark.
a light. Oh, okay.
Ooh, a light. That's a new one for me.
Well, that might only apply to trains. I'm not sure. Thank God to be back on dry land. Get bored of being on the same boat for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Somewhere new and interesting to explore. So I assume we've healed up our dwarf. Everyone's nice and healthy now, right?
Yeah, you've had a week or so.
I refreshed my armor spell. I will drop another piece of blessed leather.
You said that this was a 2-week journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was this like a week? Do we get long rest EXP for sailing on a ship?
No, we'll wait till you get back to the capital.
Okay.
Probably negligible.
Alright.
No.
Probably what?
And
Negligible, but I guess you get 500 X.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
okay, we're here. So what's the plan of action? Shall we get ourselves settled? Should we head for the best inn in town, or should we try and remain?
I think we were getting a
inconspicuous?
message dictated that Tyrael was supposed to write as an introduction to these towns. From Drunsbar
right.
and Russ.
We have some
Right.
passage, some note from the queen or whatever that allows us to know that we're like on official research business here.
Yeah.
never
Did
from the
you want to dictate what it was so that there's like some specifics in case it becomes a problem?
dwarf? Does it? Well, it sounds
Or-
like it could become a problem. So yeah, let me.
Yeah. Maybe you don't have to do like a perfect job, but just a broad strokes would be nice.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a job, might as well do it right.
Yeah. And while he's doing that, I'll have a question for the other two of you. You're arriving here in Drunsbar. This ship has been charted for you guys to come here and drop you off.
It's gonna
And
stay.
then what? They're going to stay here in Drunsbar?
I
How
think so,
long-
yeah. No, because we're probably planning to head south, right?
Yeah, but how are we gonna get back?
We'll
Just charter
find
another ship?
Yeah, like
Okay. All right, so
I
you will
mean-
release them from their duty and they can head back.
Well, is there a reason not to just like tell them to be here for a week or a month?
I guess because like even if we go to Draken Wastes, going back up to Drunsbar might be the best way home because we don't really want to go through Gold Hill and Bridgegate.
it would be spending the crown's money and, depleting them of one ship that they might need for something.
So how busy is this port? Do I feel like it might take us a week or two waiting? But could
Well,
we
I don't
get
want to
another
send them.
ship?
I don't want to send them back due to the reason that if they go back, they might just get fucked up by Akubans for what we just did, right? Like that is like.
I mean, this agreement you should have figured out before you left, actually, because it would have known when they were leaving if they would be staying or.
Well, we don't know how long we're going to be. Is the problem? I think we should send them back and.
I think we keep them here because I'm afraid of them dying to Akubans now. Or being
They've got the notes. They should be fine. They're not actually hauling anything. Yeah,
Right.
but they can actually let them be searched if they want.
Yeah, but they're gonna be more mad at what we did to them, I would assume. But I don't know.
Well,
Maybe-
look, I say it's up to them. They can stay and wait for us if they want, if they need protection going through the Akuban seas. But if they have other duties back in Drakis, they're free to leave.
I think that's fair. If they have duties, they can go back. If not, then they might as well stay and we'll fund their trip.
Yeah.
And, they can go drink all day until we're ready to go.
Cool.
That's how
So
I'll
they're
put it.
going to.
I'll put it that way. If you guys want to go back and work, that's on you. If you want to stay here, it'll be a crown-funded vacation until we're ready to charter back. In a few weeks.
That's an interesting prospect. A crown-funded vacation to stay in Druinsbar. The captain says they'll wait for you. Let's see. When you arrive, it is going to be. You'll be arriving on December 20th. So they don't. They'll wait at least until the new year.
I
Because
hear the dwarven
they're gonna
ladies
wanna,
like.
Yeah, they're gonna want to party for the new year and stuff. So they'll wait for the new year and maybe a few days after that.
So like a week and a half or something.
Yeah,
We're gonna need long.
if you
We're
land on
definitely
the
gonna need
20th,
longer than that.
they'll leave on like January 4th.
So we're just paying for them to get pissed over the holidays. Because we're never going to be done in a week and a half. Because we've
We
got
could
to head
be.
to... Well, no,
But I
because
guess
we've got to
we-
head to the Draken Wastes.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just pay for them to get.
Fuck it, yeah, why not? They deserve it.
It's not on our dime. It's on the crown's.
Okay, can I read you guys the note that we had previously had prepared to make sure that we previously agreed to what would be previously accompany them on the ship?
Yes.
What is the name of the queen again?
Shit.
Wins for the party.
What? With the Queen of Drakis?
Queen Wick, right?
Auntie.
Queen Auntie?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want her first name?
I don't know. Listen, this is the note that I've got. Greetings, this is the Queen of Drakis. These men are traveling on official orders to research dwarven technology that can assist us during these trying times. Please treat these men with the highest courtesy, and I will make sure that you are compensated in kind for any convenience they may cause you. If any further questions arise due to the nature of their business, please don't hesitate to send me a message by note or by magic.
All right, there you go.
Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay, there you go. That's the same.
You put in the chat.
Queen
sent it.
Valuria Wick. Right?
Yeah,
That is
Valoria.
correct. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, also, what's the date today? We really want to know.
December 5th or 20th.
December 20th.
Gotcha, okay.
All right. You arrive in Druinsbar. You step off into the predominantly human town. You will be greeted at the docks by some armed warriors. Standard protocols, a new ship arrives. Someone's got to pay docking fees. You got to, see what's going on. They ask you the general questions. You can produce the note, and they can detect the accent in your voice. You guys speak. What are the languages you all speak here?
Halfling and Drakisian.
Eridonian,
Drakisian,
Akuban.
Eridonian, Akuban. Yeah. Yes. The docksmen are multilingual. They speak all of the major languages, so you got them covered all the way. And with a bit of a surprise, seeing people with a message from the Queen of Drakis, they make way for you, tell other people to stand by, and even appoint a soldier to escort you wherever you need to go, if need be. Would you like a guide, a scout through the town? We would happily.
No. We'll be fine with that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. As we last left the party, they were asking the harbor master where they could find a good inn in town, and the harbor master pointed them to the Karsa Inn.
Perfect. That will do nicely. And no need to escort us. Your directions will suffice.
Of course, I won't mention to anyone other than his lordship that you are here.
It's not a great secret. We just prefer to avoid the fanfare.
Of course.
His
Please be on your way.
I thought you elected the mayor.
His title is his lordship, but he is elected on a annual basis.
Got it.
All right, and then we head into the town, dwarf in tow.
Replace all those pronouns with feminine pronouns. The mayor is a woman.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. All right, you can make your way down the road, past the big fountain in the middle of town, hook a left, and sure enough, the Karsa Inn is there. You can come on into the jam-packed inn and tavern. The common room is filled. There appears to be some sort of group up on the stage doing some sort of a musical performance. It's a pair of half-elves and a pair of humans. One of the humans just kind of like standing nearby looking mean and intimidating. And the others are all up on the stage playing, a lute and singing, and one's got an ocarina.
How good is it?
Quite good, actually. It's rather on the, it's weird foreign, like, half-elf music or something. It's elves on stage with one human and one human standing by, not half-elves. So it's got, like, strangely haunting forest melodies to it, and kind of like this earthy jazz flute style thing that might appeal to some people. Yeah, 2 full-blooded elves.
Wow. That's a spectacle.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I will gawk.
I guess I make my way to the side of the bar and try and call over the proprietor if I can see him or her.
Yep. A elderly gentleman, kind of heavy set, with a big belly that bounces as he moves, comes on over to you. His long white sideburns come almost all the way down to his chin, and he puffs at you in Eridonian. Hello there, stranger. What brings you to our lands, and how may I serve you?
Give him a nod and reply in Eridonian. Thank you for the warm welcome. This place is certainly interesting. Look, my friends and I, there's 4 of us. We're wondering if perhaps this fine establishment had 4 rooms, perhaps for a week or so. I can see that you look very busy, but I can assure you that we will be happy to pay an elevated rate, and that we are here on important business.
Well, if those are your conditions, I'm more than happy to oblige. We'll make room for you, whatever it takes. Our typical rate is 5 silver a night. So...
Make it 8. Make it 8. 8 silver a night.
Of course. He's
4
beginning
rooms.
to detect a hint of nobility in your accent, even though neither of you are speaking your native tongues. He's catching on to your importance.
Yeah.
Anything else, my lord?
Don't suppose you've got a table down here that we could have? Clear out some of the
riffraff.
We have a traveling band through here. Most of the people are here to see them. But if you'd like, I could clear some space in my house, which is attached. If you'd like a private room in which to conduct business.
Who is the traveling band, I'll ask?
They go by the name of Kess and Kellen. It's the elves upon stage and their human companion that sings with them.
Seems that my party has taken an interest. Perhaps we can stand at least until the place clears out.
Of course.
We'll take some drinks when you're ready.
Splendid.
And I guess
You can place your orders and he'll bring them by in a few minutes.
Find a place to stand.
Mm-hmm. All right. You find a place to stand. The music travels on. People are interested and excited. No one's paying attention to you guys whatsoever. You get your drinks brought to you. Anything else?
Whisper, do you want me to clear a table?
Nah, let's leave the tricks for now. It's best we don't get outed. We're spellcasters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Say it. Are either of these elves particularly attractive?
One is male, one is female, and there is that sort of strange exotic attraction that comes to them anyway. And on top of that, well, I guess you wouldn't know. You haven't seen that many elves, so they're
We should have seen like some elves like living in the capital, right? I imagine there's going to be like a lot of people passing through.
From a distance, yeah. You probably haven't had very many prolonged conversations with them, but you would have seen them from a distance. So these are fairly attractive creatures. They're a little bit shorter than humans, but they've got kind of like thinnish faces, highest cheekbones. They of course have the telltale pointed ears of elves, although some of them are like covered with hair strands nearby that are like dangling by their face.
Go and stand next to Tyrael and say, I was joking before about the night on the boat, but I'm sure she would cause a ruckus back at court if you could wed her and bring her home.
I'm sure that's true, but I thought we were here searching for tombs, not for wives, Emmerich.
We can always make time for both.
Thank you, Anton. Yeah, exactly.
Tyrael, go chat her up.
Well, I'll let the lady finish singing first. Keep it in your pants for now, Tyrael.
I'll try to control my excitement, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the elves sing their bit. Eventually, when they wrap up late into the evening, the crowd begins to disperse.
Where is our dwarven friend at?
He's at the table with you.
He's just hanging out with us. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. He's easy to miss because, he's a little bit shorter, and in the sea of people, it's just easy to forget that he's with you at all. But you get your 4 rooms. You can go to bed. Anything.
Well, I say maybe we stay up late. When the bar clears out, I assume the landlord will let us stay down in the common area alone, and we can maybe discuss business down here for the next day. Just because we've got 2 spellcasters here, so it's better if we know what we're doing before we go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we know what we're doing right now. Our dwarven friend here is going to go talk around and see if anybody wants to volunteer information related to this key, but I mean, other than that, we have no idea, right, whether it's here or not. But regardless, it's not like we're under any great time constraint or pressure, right? If we have to wait the next day after tomorrow to do something, it's okay.
I suppose you're right. I guess you can return to sleeping if you will, but I might stay down here and have a few more drinks if anyone's willing to stay up with me.
I'll stay with you. How long is the traveling band going to stay, I'll ask?
Just passing through. One night only. I can't believe they picked my establishment.
Tyrael, this is your one night, your one chance.
I'm okay. I'm sure you two fare well here. Why don't you go try and talk to her?
Go ahead, Emmerich.
No, do you know what? I'm alright.
Come on, Emmerich.
It's not my type. I thought Tyrael would have liked it. I thought he was into.
Oh, you're racist. You have a problem with that?
Racist.
Is that even a big deal to be racist in these times? You must be like ultra woke if you're not racist in the 1000s or whatever.
Yeah, sounds justified. I mean, we're not talking like human races here. We're talking like dwarves who are literally
different genetics.
No, like total fuckheads is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'll
No offense to the guy, to the dwarf next to us.
I'll poke the dwarf. What about you? Want to go talk to the elf?
Talk to a Nancy Ninny elf? No, thank you. They might have weird flute sounds, or whatever the hell that handheld instrument is. But let me tell you, every time I've chatted with an elf, it's always been, oh, I'm so much better than you are. Oh, I live a long time. Oh, look how patient and wise I am. Oh, I'm always right about everything. Fucking ninnies. No one likes to deal with that.
You know what? You should throw something at her.
How about instead of causing too much trouble, how about we get a good night's rest, and then our dwarven friend here brushes up on his social skills and tries to make some headway tomorrow to figuring out where this key is.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I suppose time for bed. All right.
I'll wink and wave goodbye to the female elf. I want to throw down a charisma check for that one.
All right. You approach the female elf as she's, chatting with some of the other people nearby.
I don't know about approach. I'm kind of walking past, and I'll wink and wave.
You give her the wink and wave?
Like a drive-by, yeah.
She gives you the, cheesy smile of a star trying to appease a nearby fan. You're like, oh, thank you. Moving on, not even paying attention to you. I've forgotten you exist altogether.
Fine, yeah.
you know, the look Destiny gives me every day after we end the show.
True. I want to take a real good look at her. I really want to remember what she looks like, okay?
All right. She has silver hair, kind of a silver blue palette to her eyes. She's right-handed.
Yeah, that's good enough.
She
Okay. Just want to remember her face really well.
Some toys. Yeah. You've also noticed that she's got a suit of leather armor on, and she carries a pair of scythes at her waist.
Nice.
So she's armed and armored.
Good. I like it. Okay.
I'd like to roll something to see if I can tell that Tyrael is giving her a good once-over.
Just
Yeah,
looking at her.
Yeah.
Anton is very suspicious of Tyrael now. What did you want?
I just wanted to look at. How is he noticing me looking at somebody? They told me to stare at her the entire time.
Leering, mate. Leering at her.
I'm not leering. I'm just taking a
It's
look.
making me uncomfortable.
Sorry, which check Koibu? I couldn't hear you.
Charisma, please. You don't notice. You know, there's a lot going on.
You know, when he winks at the elf, I fucking do mind reader as he winks at her.
Who?
I mind read the elf as
You mind read the elf.
as Anton winks at the elf.
Oh.
I want to gauge her reaction to the wink.
It's the like automatic physical response to seeing an adoring fan without like actually spending any brain power on it whatsoever. He does not enter her thoughts.
Okay.
She is
better than I
busy, like
expected.
chatting to her people. She doesn't notice those walking by.
Sounds good.
Well, she isn't disgusted, Anton. So
That's pretty good.
yeah,
It's better than normal.
I know.
Really
Slap you
making
on the
him
back.
headbutt.
Nice work, brother.
All right, well, I'm going to bed. Anton
Alright,
will go
you
to the
guys-
room, lock the door, and go to sleep.
Are we all in the same room or are we all in different rooms?
No, we're all in different rooms.
We're all in
Anton's
different
not
rooms?
being fucked.
We've got our own rooms, yeah.
Koibu, I have a secret mission I'd like to go on at night.
Let's hear it. All right, middle of the night.
Okay, I would like to get up and I would like to don my hat of disguise.
Oh,
Green.
my
And I would like to turn into a picture-perfect version of that singer lady.
I would like you to know that I was suspicious IRL, so Anton would probably be fucking suspicious. Yeah, in game too.
Is this just a bit of like brotherly incest, just a prank?
What do you mean? I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I would just like to don my hat of disguise, and I would like to turn into a picture-perfect version. But I would like to wear a little bit something less armor, more cleavage.
Did we? Sure. I don't remember how the How to Disguise works. Can you become identical people?
Identical people.
Or, like, can you become a specific person or just a generalized thing? I don't remember.
I'm pretty
No,
sure I
it's
get to
specific.
choose.
Yeah. Because you did Cassandra, right?
All I remember, or all I wrote down in regards to this is 25% of height up or down, 50% of weight up or down. But then other than that, I think.
Feature is highly mutable. Yeah. Okay. Change to appear as one of these
Just create
things.
it away.
Item. Powerful.
You're not even gonna enter my room. I locked the door.
Yeah, so you appear as the elf woman, except the leather armor's gone. The bust has been increased to size.
Mm-hmm.
Got
Two
that
sizes.
water wonder bra on. Mm-hmm.
I would like to be outside the Anton's door. I would like to try to pick the lock. I picked the lock successfully.
It's unlocked.
It's not suspicious at all.
Can we get a stealth check?
I would also like to move silently. I'm moving very silently.
This is
What? You wanted to fuck with me? Now I'm gonna fuck with you. I would like
Enter your
to.
brother's bedroom.
I would like to
the middle
walk
of
to
the
the
night.
side of the bed, and I would like to kneel, and I would like to shake Anton awake, and I would like to say in a very soft voice, "Anton, awaken."
Anton will wake up and be in disbelief, Koibu, at what he's seeing, and he'll try to he'll try to disbelieve it. What do you
The
want?
elf woman who wasn't here, who had no interest in you earlier, is now at your bedside.
I don't
He
believe
winked
it.
at
holding
me.
on to you.
What do I roll?
Give me a spell save.
Okay. Saving throw over a spell.
No way. You try to disbelieve it, but it's real. She's here. You can feel her hands on your. She's squeezing you, and you can feel the warmth coming out of her fingers. Actually, it's going to be cold fingers on your warm arm, drawing the heat from you. It has sight. It has smell. There's a scent to her, although it kind of smells like sweat and travel. But there's, sight, smell, temperature, sound. She's real.
Your ass fucked, Steven.
What the fuck? I would like to lean in softly and say, I noticed that you winked at me earlier. Did you find my performance acceptable?
Anton will go, my lady, I didn't even think you noticed me. How did you get here?
How could I not notice?
Conquer all.
How could I not notice somebody with such striking features? You seem as though you've been through such a harsh life, and I would like to gently caress the scars on his face.
Don't look at those.
Turn off the lights.
Anton will put his hand over him. I'm deformed.
I'll grab his wrist and move his hand away, and I'll say, no, of course not. These are some of the most special and unique markings I've ever seen in a man before. Certainly, you've noticed that us elves are all boring. We all look perfect and the same, but you humans are so much more varied with the way that you look. I admire your scars so much. They tell so much of a story.
Well, I did fight off a dragon once. So.
A dragon? My eyes go huge and vulnerable, and I ask, wow, what brings you to this land? What are you doing here? Certainly a man like you must be here for something of incredible importance.
What would this be, like a willpower check to see if Anton would reveal it? This is going to be a high one. I'm going to say it's got to be like a 28 or something for Anton to talk about it.
I'll do a opposed charisma check. Being very charismatic right now.
Go for it. Let's see the dice.
Okay, 18. So that means I probably wouldn't say it, right?
It's a little... Maybe the awkwardness hangs in the air. It's clear that he's uncomfortable about the scars and she's interested. And just an awkward silence comes over the room.
I can't talk about that. But Anton will lean in to kiss the elf.
I will bashfully turn my face, my hair covering my cheek, and pull back a bit. But I must know. Your life seems like it's been so interesting. I'm so bored, stuck in this boring town, playing these same songs for these same stupid sailors, for these same boring men. You and your friends look like you're on such wonderful adventures. I must know what you're here for. I'm sure I could be of help.
At this point, I think Anton would be genuinely like alarm bells would be raising in his mind. Some elf came into his room, door locked, now is in there.
I would
now
like
is
to
asking about his secret mission twice. Anton's alarm bells are going up. He's gonna like push back and be like, "Who are you?" And I guess clutch his fanny pack of spell instruments.
Sound clutching something.
I'll lean back a bit. Just a boring elf that wound up here singing songs for boring people for years and years. I used to be an adventurer a long time past, but unfortunately I got stuck here, wound up with little money. I've had nothing to do in the meantime. Just been looking for some brave hero to sweep me away from this place, to take me on the adventures that I wish I could return to. But if it's too much of an ask, I understand. I mean, I am imposing quite a bit. Perhaps it was inappropriate of me to come here tonight, and I'll look away and I'll make this stand up.
I am sorry, but I can't talk about what I'm here doing. You should probably get out of here.
Okay. I nod a bit. I get down on my knees, and I lean forward, close to his face. I look him right in the eye. I say, "You better tell that to every motherfucker that comes into your room, you little fucking piece of shit." I smack him in the face, and I take my disguise off. I say, "Don't ever fuck around here again, or tell me to fuck around. We're here for one mission and one mission only. You're damn lucky that you answered correctly tonight, or I'm gonna beat your ass, all right?" And
Why do you do this every time?
I'll get up and I'll leave the room. I leave the room. I left. I slammed the door behind me. Go back to my room.
Emmerich is awoken. Well, maybe not. Emmerich's probably in a drunken stupor, having drank himself to sleep again. I only suppose you and the dwarf ended up swapping stories and downing drinks all night.
Oh yeah, if the dwarf would stay up with me, then I would.
Oh, of course.
Downstairs with him, yeah.
Yeah. All he needs is one glass of water before he goes to bed, and then he'll be fine. No hangover the next day.
Anton stays up plotting his revenge.
Excellent. All right. You all wake up the next day. Dwarf is fine. How old are you, Emmerich?
I'm the youngest one. I think I'm like 24. Let
You're
me check.
fine. You don't even know.
26. Yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably get up relatively early, wake everyone up, come downstairs. Tyrael, wake up. Let's go.
I arise. I come to my door. Yeah, ready to go.
Let's go. I got they're making breakfast for us. Anton, get up.
Fuck off, Anton. I'll say. I'll get up when I'm good and ready.
I turned to Tyrael like, what the fuck's wrong with him?
Huh. You must have had a hard night.
Maybe he's
Anton
up
will
late
come
thinking about that off.
stomping
If you know what I mean.
Must have what? Had a what? Sorry. Noise.
Maybe he was up late thinking about that elf, if you know what I mean.
It's possible. Who knows what his mind is on these days.
He needs to focus that one. I'm sure, look, the smell of bacon will wake him up. And then go downstairs and wait for breakfast.
All right. You meet them
Anton will
downstairs
stop
for breakfast.
eventually.
Everyone eventually comes on down. The plan can be enacted now, or discussed now.
All right. So, what are you guys thinking?
I
So
don't think
one
we-
of us should go with our friend here.
Yeah, the dwarf. There must be like some academy or some school or some institution where people do research or reading. You can just go in, present the note, say he's here for research, and then dwarf man. Not to sound offensive or blunt, but I'm sure you appreciate bluntness being a dwarf, but your bluntness is, of course, the problem here. Is there any way that you can subtly insinuate that you'd like to see this key without letting on that that's exactly what we're here for?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you think it's
Oh,
possible?
Sorry, I was watching the. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that you can ask questions and try to get them to maybe reveal or talk about that key in such a way that it's not plainly obvious that that's what we're here for?
I suppose I could. I'm interested. We're here looking for how'd you call it?
Big 10-pound metal key. Probably not too many like it.
No, we're here to create a storage device, right?
We're just
Research
here
for a storage
researching your
device.
wonderful dwarven technologies for anything that can help us, the effort. That's what the letter says. You can read it. I hand him the note. I don't imagine it's sealed because he'd probably have to produce it multiple times. So he can read it over if he wants to a few times. Yeah.
Yep.
Tyrael,
you read it over.
maybe you should accompany him, and I could lend you the amulet. Maybe if they're trying to hide anything, you'll be able to scope it out. Or do you think you should go alone?
It's a good idea, sending two, one with the amulet.
Yeah, I suppose I can go with him if he's okay with that. Sure.
Yeah, I'll hand you the amulet.
I don't know. Out of game, having Koibu just running around having a ton of conversations with himself sounds really entertaining.
I was about to say one of you guys should play the dwarf for these conversations. Otherwise, the next hour is just going to be Neal talking to himself in front of you guys. Which
Sounds... Okay, yeah, I'll go with the dwarf. Sure.
I can get you partway there if you want.
No, that's
but
right.
it'd be more fun to have
you
someone
do
else
when you're an NPC, you're OP. You got everything under control. But okay, yeah, we'll go with you. I'll go with him. Sure.
And then Anton, maybe you can check out any temples in town.
Yeah, do you want to come with me, or do you have an idea?
I'm just gonna maybe walk around invisible, see what I can. Maybe I'll follow you.
Alright.
Maybe I'll follow Tyrael.
Split the party.
Before we head out of this tavern, I'll don the hat of disguise, and I would just like to look like a nondescript, ordinary man. Just roll the dice on like just blonde hair, brown eyes, just random, whatever shit.
Yeah, just random
Yeah.
NPC.
Yeah.
Human. You'll fit
Somebody
in
that doesn't
town,
look
you'll
like
walk
me.
around.
Wait, you can
Yeah.
have brown eyes and blonde hair naturally, right?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll cast invisibility as we're all leaving, and I will follow Tyrael and the dwarf.
Okay. So you follow Tyrael and Dwarf invisibly. Tyrael is dressed as a random person. He's going with the dwarf. Anton, you're doing what, per se? Exactly.
I'm gonna go visit the temples.
Revisiting
But before we all leave, I want to have a quick conversation with Imric just alone. Just be quick. Just be a quick aside.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
You know, Tyrael tried to sexually assault me last night. He's taking that hat of disguise.
You said what?
Tyrael came in my room last night, disguised as the elf, and I swear he tried to fuck me. I resisted. because I sought something up. I'm just letting you know. You got to be careful.
That's terribly sad. That's terribly sad.
He's going too far with that hat.
I always wondered why he never found a wife. Maybe this is his way of exploring certain ideas.
No, I'm just not.
I don't think we should judge him too hard.
On our way out, can I ask the tavern, the barkeep, where that lady elf actually stays between shows?
She is just traveling through town.
But they must be like staying in a tavern or something.
I don't know which one. Down the street?
I'm sure we have, like, it's early morning. Before we have some time, can I find where she's staying? I would just like to have a brief conversation with her.
Yeah, if you ask around, if you're willing to, like, ask people in the streets, you'll be able to find it. They're the talk of the town right now. Yeah, you can go on down to their tavern where they're having breakfast. You'll see it is 4 people, 2 elves, 2 humans, and they look very coupley. It looks like each human is married to an elf.
Not being disguised now, can I try to, is it appropriate to engage them in a conversation? So maybe I would, like, flag down their table, but if they're too busy or whatever, I don't want to,
Yeah, they're having breakfast. You can approach their table. They're kind of used to it.
Yeah.
And the female elf will speak up and be like, oh, hello. You must be another visitor. Fan.
In fact, I am. I was wondering if I could pull you off to the side, just a brief moment, for a brief conversation. I have a simple proposition for you. It won't take more than 30 minutes of your time. Of course, I'd be glad to pay you for it. Just like to make a very quick and simple request on behalf of one of my brothers.
Please.
Okay. So I imagine we stand off to the side. I don't care if the other people can hear us necessarily or not. It's fine. I have a younger brother who had dreams of being a musician. He grew up and he practiced a lute for many years, and he was becoming quite proficient in playing, but unfortunately, there was an accident, there was a fire at a barn. He ran in to save some of the animals, and he wound up scarred on his face. Because he was so self-conscious of how he looked, he never wanted to pursue anything further in music. He always thought he'd be too ugly to be on stage, especially alongside beautiful performers such as yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Now, what I was wondering, I know you guys aren't running a charity here or anything, but perhaps in exchange for a few pieces of gold, do you think it's possible that you could go over to that tavern and just maybe talk with or share some stories with my younger brother for maybe 30 or 45 minutes?
Well, I don't know about 30 or 45 minutes. We're kind of on a tight schedule, but I think that's so sweet that you would care about your brother so much. What's his name?
His name is Anton. He's very distinct. He'll have some fire scars. Even if for just a brief 5 or 10 minutes, I'm sure for maybe 5 gold, 10 gold, I'm sure it'd be worth your time.
She takes a glance over to the heavily decked out fighter sitting next to her, who's got like chainmail and a longbow and a massive glaive next to him and an arming sword.
As I notice her glancing over, I say to her, of course, you can bring any armed guards or anything you need. It's nothing funny. I just want you to have a quick conversation with my brother.
Ransom, sweetie, would you accompany me? We can talk to this Tyrael?
I'm sorry, Anton.
Mouton.
Anton.
Anton.
She's a busy performer. I'm sure she's got a million different,
Yeah. And just chat to him about, life. Anything.
Yeah, just chat him up. Tell him that you think he's got like a good future ahead of him. If he wants to do whatever he can, he can just give him kind of like a pep talk. Sometimes he's just a little bit down. I feel like he doesn't really believe that other people, can value him or can, gas him up or anything. So it'd be great if you could have that conversation. I would greatly appreciate it. And then I'll produce from my bag 5 gold. Should be more than enough for a quick conversation.
She will take the 5 gold, pat you on the hand sympathetically, and be like, I would be honored to help your brother gain confidence in order to play with us. Over here is some of our traveling companions. We had to convince them that they were good enough to work with us. That's Guy of well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's go. And she grabs Ransom, the fighter, and they head on over towards the other tavern.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. And you'll notice him as soon as you go in. He'll have scars on his face. It'll be readily apparent.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What was the name of your traveling group again?
We're Kess and Kellen. I'm Kess. My brother's Kellen. This is Ransom, my husband. And Olivia does the artistic impression as we paint.
Gotcha. I will praise the name of your group from the mountaintops, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So she hurries out of the tavern. with ransom in tow. And moments later, she's coming into the one where you are there, MrMouton, and you see the elf from last night.
I
the
have a
woman
look of
your dreams.
disgust on my face.
Behind her is a stocky bodyguard with a huge two-handed weapon and a sword at his side and like chainmail hanging from him. He looks like he knows what's up.
That actually, I guess, confuses Anton because he knows Tyrio can disguise, but he's not convinced that another person would come. I'll let him come up to me, I guess.
All right. She comes up to you and goes, "Excuse me, are you Anton?"
I'll try to disbelieve.
Give me that saving throw.
Sorry, one second.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna fail. Yeah. You try as best as you can, but she's here in the flesh. Her voice even purer than it was last night.
I don't know what sick joke you're playing on me, Tyrio, but last night was enough. You already have...
No, I'm sorry. There's been confusion.
Don't speak louder. You've already disgraced this lady's image once, and now you've conned this guy into following you around. I'm done, Tyrio. I'm done with this sick joke. And he'll stand up and storm out.
Wait, hold on! I'm supposed to talk to you and convince you to become a musician.
The dwarf was right. All elves are ninnies. And I'll stomp out.
Well, she is a little pissed. She goes over and starts to speak with the human fighter, who seems very chill. He's not like trying to start any business. He's not taking any personal grudges. And then she'll give back one last snappy retort. Well, you were never going to be a good musician anyway, not with that sort of attitude. It takes real artistic talent to see things in other people, and you have none of it.
I'll keep stomping away.
I would like to be waiting outside
She's
the front
away,
entrance so that
wow.
when Anton comes out, he sees me standing there with my eyes wide.
Anton will just shake his head.
Anton, what are you doing? Anton, she wanted to come back and talk to you.
I'm going to the temple, Teal. Your sick jokes are too much.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
For me either.
I'm good to go to the university or whatever with the dwarf guy now.
All right. You can be in charge of where the dwarf is going. Where is it that you guys are going? Looking for...
There must be like a local, like where scribes are, or what is the intelligentsia, some institution, some college, some area of research or study or archives, or...
There is an academy in Drunsbar for the children of the nobles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just called the Drunsbar Academy.
Yeah.
That's probably the center of intellectual stimulation here.
To the academy.
Yeah, I follow.
All right. You guys arrive at the academy. It's a private school for teaching children. It's not really open to the public or anything like that, but there's still, it's a school, so there's kind of like a main office building at the front, and a groundskeeper sweeping out front who sees you approach and gives you a bit of a bob of the head and says, "Excuse me, I don't recognize you. What is your business here at the academy?"
I'll flag him down, I suppose. I am in my hat of disguise now. I am a nondescript level 1 man, whatever, just random, right?
Yeah.
And I'll flag him down and I'll say, "Hello, we come from the land of Drecus. We were hoping that we could speak to some of your most esteemed researchers today. I come bearing a note from the Queen, and I come with an incredibly intelligent dwarf who has a knack for history, and I was wondering if we could speak to somebody with a bit more authority." And I can produce the note for him to glance over. And
He'll glance over it and go, "Oh, the Queen of Drecus. Of course, I'm sure the academics would have no problem answering questions on behalf of royalty. Come this way," he says, and kind of scratches his head. I'm not used to this sort of... I'm just the groundskeeper. But he will take you to one of the classrooms where history is being taught, give a knock on the door, pull the teacher out, who just takes a step outside and looks confused, begins to admonish the groundskeeper for interrupting them in the middle of their lectures. When the groundskeeper goes, "There's envoys here from the Drakisian royal family?" To which the historian will pause and turn to face you. It is a man with like a weathered face, like pockmarks. It looks like he spent years and years at sea before he became a teacher here. He does not have a tone of aristocracy in his voice whatsoever. He's definitely a commoner who's been elevated to a position of influence through merit, which is unusual for these times. And gaze upon the two of you. Well, out with it. If you're from the Queen, let's have it.
Hello, I will produce the note. So me and my friend here have traveled quite far from Drekis. All we wish to do is gather some information and to do some research about some of your wonderful dwarven inventions. I'm sure, as you know, our land has been engulfed in conflict, and any more information that we can find about how to construct more effective devices to help us manage this conflict, the better. So we were hoping that we could come as emissaries from Drekis, perhaps in exchange for gifts or other knowledge, if we could just have a look at your archives and research what you may allow us to. I have a dwarven friend here who may be able to more effectively communicate with you. But yeah, that's what we were here for.
Looks to the dwarf, looks to the just access to our library? What sort of... He ponders for a moment, taps his toe. Do you mind if I finish up with my classroom and meet you in half an hour?
Of course you can. I'm sorry, we talked about this, but we didn't do this explicitly. So, Imric said that he was giving me the ESP amulet earlier.
Yeah.
Remember?
Correct.
We did explicitly say that, right? So having that amulet on, what do I detect from his thoughts or whatever?
A little bit of confusion.
Okay.
Just kind of like this is unexpected. I'm not really sure what to do about this. Kind of like going through the protocols in his head of like, how could this be a threat to me? This seems sort of normal. This seems kind of reasonable. Is there anything that I should deny them access to? Shit, I got to get back to class. Or I'm going to figure this out after I finish teaching class today, and then I'll sort it out.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can wait. Do you know about how long it'll take?
Half an hour.
Okay, no problem. We'll be out in the front courtyard or whatever, waiting. Time.
As they're waiting, I'm just going to leave. Neal, I'm going to do something else.
You just walk out. Okay.
Yeah.
You peace out. You guys have a little while before the class is finished. Is there anything you want to say with the dwarf before class is over?
Not much. I mean, I trust you know how to speak to these people, right? You're not going to say anything too insulting, or you're not going to... Everything will be fine, right?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
Sure you won't have any problem with anything I have to say.
Okay, I hope so. I'm putting a lot of the weight on your shoulders for this particular mission, so I trust you'll do as good a job as the Queen said you will.
He grunts at you. But some time passes, half an hour or so, and eventually the gentleman, the historian, comes back out. My notes here. He introduces himself. Hello. My name is Thorin. I am the historian here at the Druinsbar Academy. You said the dwarf here has questions for me, or is conducting research on storage of valuable items in unusual ways, correct?
Is this to me or the dwarf?
It's to you.
Okay, yeah. Yes, yeah, that is indeed what we are here to research. And then I'm just a lowly human whose brain could barely comprehend the magnificence of your dwarven inventions. As I said, half authentically, half a little bit whatever. And then,
Sure.
Yeah, my dwarf friend here.
This dude's a human.
What? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're here to study. My friend here will know more of the specifics than I. I'm only here to accompany him. It's better to travel in pairs rather than alone, of course. But yeah, we're here hopefully to gather as much information as we can about clever or crafty ways to store things.
Well, and you're on behalf of the Queen. Is she also
Here?
making a donation to the Academy for our time and services?
I believe that she put a note in the bottom that you can be compensated in whatever manner you feel appropriate. So you, I'm sure, have access to the full library of what Drekis is able to offer. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Communicate by note to her.
In these trying times, gold buys more favors than books, I'm afraid to say.
And of course, I understand. I am in a position to parlay. I don't know if that's appropriate here. On behalf of the Queen. So, yeah, whatever you feel is appropriate, you can make that request of me, and I'm authorized to grant it or deny it.
Well, I think 100 gold pieces should answer all of your questions, no problem. And should assuage the concerns of any of our Academy higher-ups.
Sure, I can understand that. I am sure that you understand in our position, we'd very much like to make sure that we have some valuable information before parting with such gold. However, I completely trust in you. I'll produce 35 gold pieces from my purse. I have 36 on me, so I'm taking all but one. And I will hand this over and I'll say, here's 35 up front. And then once we've gotten the information we feel we need, or even possibly more, I will gladly pay you the rest. Hope that you find these terms acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
35 gold.
Please, he'll take you to a small library that they have in the basement of the Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll watch over you and make small talk as the dwarf, flips through things and looks through things.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll stick around with you. If you'd like the dwarf to do any RP in this situation, you should RP the dwarf yourself.
Yeah, I guess I just kind of want him to go around and read and look for information about the key. I don't know if he necessarily needs to say anything, but we'll probably wait for like 30 minutes to see if he feels like he comes across any relevant books that might have information related to it.
Yeah, so he starts, pulling through books, looking at titles. The historian here can point him in the direction of a couple of interesting notions. No one specifically mentions the tomb of Vlad Orwell, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ormor.
He doesn't necessarily need to look for a specific mention, but perhaps a book on clever keys or locks that might mention a type of lock that would be like matching the description. Like, in the past, it's been rumored that a 10 or a very heavy metallic key has been used for something like that.
Yeah, most of their books here are going to be like historical books or like lines of kings and queens, happenings of the world. There's not really like this is our book on locks,
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's written by hand. Those books just don't get written very often.
Mm-hmm.
But he will dig around and eventually come up with a history of Drune's Bar book, which will mention Vlad Ormor
Mm-hmm.
in it. And digging around in it, it will mention that when he was buried, he was sealed in a tomb beyond lock picking and magic spells. And pull up the book and tap it emphatically and come over to you and be like, here's the tomb. It's mentioned here, but they don't say anything about the key, only that it was impervious to mechanical and magical locks, or lock-picking attempts.
No other information about perhaps the way to get through it? Any key created? Nothing?
He flips through it a little bit more, reads a bit more, and says, the tomb was crafted by the son of Vlad, a young man, or I guess not young dwarf, but what was his name? Fernok. His son Fernok Ormor created it using a combination of dwarven and gnomish workers, is all it says.
Does that son, that's not the same name of the son in Roxas, is it?
Fernok? He gives a nod. Fernok's the one who founded Roxas.
Okay. Well, we said that on that council there was like a descendant of the family. Would it be a descendant of his? That would be the assumption, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably a descendant of Fernok's. I guess Ormor Vlad could have had multiple children, and maybe it's a descendant of one of them, but same family line.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that's all the information.
Do you want to use it as a starting point to further your conversation, or is that all you want from this library?
I suppose I'll chat with the human that's down here. Is somebody that works at the academy, so he should be fairly knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of these locks is of great interest. A lock that can't be picked. A lock that can't be magically broken into. This sounds to be a lock of clever invention. Are you guys able to produce more of these?
He comes over and takes a look at the book to understand what you're talking about, and goes, "Oh, the tomb of Vlad Ormor. That would be a good place to look. I'm surprised I didn't think of that myself. Sealed with a massive stone slab weighing thousands and thousands of pounds, locked with something, I don't know what it looks like, very intricate key, making it almost impossible. It's somehow magically impervious as well. I'd like to see it myself.
This is a very interesting invention. Do you know anybody that might know more about it that we could speak with?
He chews his lip for a little bit. You know, I believe the key... the people of Roxas made this, which are only tangentially related to the people here in Druinsbar. We like to think of ourselves as quite separate. But, something about importing dwarves and gnomes. Something about the key. It should be the people of Roxas would know.
Does it feel like he's holding? So with my ESP amulet, does it feel like he's holding information back from me that he's scared to say, or does it feel like he's genuinely reaching into his mind and he just can't find anything?
He's generally reaching into his mind. This is an area that he only knows by rough reputation. Like,
okay,
you know, you and I might know Joan of Arc was a young woman who led armies and came from like low status, but that's probably all we really know about her.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your time. This seems to be the perfect mechanism for what we have in mind. So perhaps we will head down to Roxas and inquire there for if they know anything more about how to construct such a lock.
He looks awkwardly to the dwarf. I don't mean to be racist or anything, but you know how dwarves like to hold on to things for long periods of time, you know, keeping their history and whatnot. The dwarf just bobs his head along and mumbles, "That's not racist at all. It's just good thinking."
Wait, what was that in response to?
It's good thinking to keep the key for a long time. Is kind of what he's saying, right?
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll take our leave.
Okay. We're going to flip quick over to Nick. Imric, what's going on? You left.
I'm just going to wander around the town. I was maybe looking to find the mayor's house.
Yes, it's very easy to find the mayor's manor in the middle of town.
What kind of wall gate situation are we talking about here?
10-foot wall with made out of brick with a metal spikes going around the top of it. A single gate in the middle with 4 guards on it. It also looks like this manor is a center of business, of government. You know, like almost like a White House thing where when you're in office, you work and live in the manor in the middle of town. So there are soldiers. It's gated.
So there's a lot of people coming and going, is what you're saying?
There, over the course of a day, many people will come and go. At the moment, it appears that like there's no one here.
How quick are they? I'll wait around. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the gate. How quick are they to like close the gate after people go in? Like, feasibly, could I sneak in with invisibility or not?
They'll like slide the gate open enough for the person to come through, but it's not like there's a lot of space. They seem to be aware that, you know, people are invisible at times. Or, you know, just good security protocol not to open gates too big.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll wander around. I'm not going to make a move or anything like that. I guess I'll just scope the town out a little bit. You can switch to Anton.
Sure.
I don't think I'm doing anything in particular.
Anton, you were heading to the temple in town.
Yeah, just what temple is it?
It is a...
Like some shitty dwarven gun.
It is the first temple you come across is a temple of Rossi, goddess of death. It's a small little temple, though. It's like, you know, room for maybe 10 people inside at a time.
I'll go inside quickly and visit the Velthara shrine and drop a little bit of my Velthara. Sorry. I have Velthara temple soil, so I'll put a little bit down.
You sprinkle some soil from Velthara in the Temple of Varasi.
Yeah.
One of the priestesses nearby comes up to you with a polite bow. Recognizing that you're a cleric of Velthara, she will say, Father of Velthara, what brings you to our small shrine? In Eridonian?
I'll speak back in Eridonian. Just visiting. It's always good to go see how other neighboring countries and states are doing. You know, trying to put the faith more together rather than nation states.
Of course. Is there anything I can do to help, or shall I leave you to your business?
What temples are in Drunsbar, and what temples are in Roxas?
There is a large temple on the south side of town that's sort of devoted to all deities. I manage our Verasi shrine here, and there are a couple more shrines. One to Martha, one to Tempos, and another one to Ephra.
What does it take to erect a shrine in town?
A right to the land and the resources to build it.
Very cool. Very interesting.
There's no regulation in Drunsbar regarding the placement of holy places. Although I hear some of the less free cities have heavy regulation on where things can be built.
And what of Roxas?
I've never been myself, but I would expect a couple of shrines to Seor. It's a large mining town and what would you call it? A production hub. There are a great many smiths that supply tools, weapons, raw materials to. They travel north towards Akuba and up to Drunsbar, Shelton, even sometimes trading with a few of the elves, although mostly just raw materials. The elves prefer to make their own work.
Is the journey safe? Is it usually, does the Blue Dragon I hear ever come visit?
Azeron rarely flies north of the Draken Wastes. Roxas has a great tower in the middle that keeps the dragons at bay, they say.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Although the northern section of the Draken Range does have the Wyvern or two, and the Hogwind Plains are known to have various monsters throughout them.
Do tell. Which ones?
Just blanked on their name.
Or if you know of a local, I don't know what it'd be called, a beast master, a monster master, who would know?
Yes, one of the rangers would probably know.
Well, I'll go visit them then.
Oh.
Also, does the Cleric of Veracity man this temple, or is it just run by priests?
Just, I am a cleric, and I have a couple of priestesses underneath me, although I am not accomplished in quite so many ways. Just good at spreading the great word of Veracity, goddess of death, making sure people give her the appropriate attention she deserves, for all of our lives end eventually. All of us will need her at our side, and in our last moments, our final, most important moments, it is best to be near to the goddess of death. Anyway, the creatures in Hogwind Plain are Wemmicks.
Oh, Wemmicks. Okay.
Yes. Kin to centaurs, although rather than equine in nature, they are leonin in nature.
Do we ever hear of other continents?
Yes.
Have we heard, I guess, I, out of character, have heard a little bit about the huge Veracity horde on the other continent. Have we heard anything about that over here?
You guys are aware of the large continent of Solemn. The ongoings of what's happening in Solemn, probably not so much. You've been sort of distracted. You would know that there is sort of like disruption and disorder, and that they're involved in some sort of like large-scale conflict.
But
And that Rocky is, a champion of one of the sides, but that's not too uncommon. Every time an army marches somewhere, they've got some god or goddess on their flag. And I guess you would probably know that Verocity's the patron of some side over there.
I'll remark, seems Veracity may be spreading too much death lately, but could just be a Cleric of Elthar's opinion.
Well, the amount of death never really changes. It's only the times at which it changes. All these people were fated to die. Their numbers just came up sooner than they expected. It doesn't seem
Quite worrying.
inappropriate for there to be too much.
Quite troublesome. Well, I will,
Have you considered the fact that maybe they all had it coming?
Not that many people could have death coming. That's for sure. I'd like to do petty revenge, not eye for an eye. All right. I'll be off. Thank you very much. And I'll go back to the tavern.
All right. It sounds like the party can gather together later that afternoon after books have been gone through, clerics spoken with, and a town ambled around while invisible, trying not to bump into folks. Nick, give me a dex check, see if you can navigate the whole town the whole day without running into anyone. You know, it's probably fine, but there's you're right. There's a non-zero chance you roll like a 1 and you like knock something over and you get chased through the streets and someone webs you and someone else burns it and everyone dies.
So getting back to the tavern then, I mean, I assume we're ending now, but I think the last thing to do here is I went to the mayor's manor. Seems to be that's where the government of the town is run from. There were plenty of important looking people going to and from, and 4 guards on the gate. I suggest that our dwarf friend and Tyrael here should head there and try and catch an audience.
Head there in the morning, then.
Catch an audience for what?
With the governor.
What do we need to talk to him for?
Do you not think that that's the most likely place to stumble upon a lead?
We already have a lead, don't we?
Nothing confirmed.
I think going down to Roxas, I think using the same excuse that we had here, that we're trying to study this, I think that if we can find a descendant or somebody to talk to, they might have more information. I don't know if we'd get anything more from the governor than that, right?
I agree that it's the best leads are probably found in Roxas. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But talk to as few people as possible. There's no reason to risk fucking anything up.
Anton will take leave to his room.
Then let's prepare for the journey across the plains then. Shall we leave on the morrow?
Let's leave on the morrow.
All right. I shall prepare my spells for travel.
Great.
We'll go back to our room.
Night, Tyrael, I need you to make me a saving throw versus spell.
Okay. Okay, and then I think it's supposed to be 1 lower right now because of my ring of protection. I think that's not accounted for, right?
That sounds about right.
Okay, and I'm trying to roll a 12 or higher, or 12 or lower.
Higher.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Well, you go to open your door to go to your bedroom when all of a sudden darkness comes over you. You can see the light fading from your vision, becoming but a tiny pinhole before it kind of breaks, pauses, and reverses, and you can snap around and look about for a moment, but you are almost blinded.
Do I see anybody in the room?
No. What do you do?
I will quickly take my sword out, and I would just like to swing in a broad motion forward. I don't know if I need to roll initiative to attack, just to see if anything is immediately in front of me, or if I get the impression of anything moving back.
Give me an attack roll. A nice wide arc through your room, right? Not in the hallway.
Through the room, correct, in front of me. Yeah. And I don't see like a powder or anything settling, do I? Sorry.
No, you don't see any powder settling.
Like there would have been like a blinding powder that would have like come down or whatever. Is what I mean, like anything weird, dust in the air or whatever. Do I hit anything or see anything move around?
There's your roll. You swipe with your blade. It cuts cleanly through the air. Give me a perception check to see if you can notice anything in the room other than you. You glance about. It doesn't look like there's any stirring of curtains. Your bed hasn't been adjusted in any way, shape, or form. Everything seems as you left it, but you were definitely attacked with a spell, 100%.
Okay. Can I sheath my sword and just stand for a moment? and just wait. I'll wait for 20 seconds.
Use your sword and wait in the middle of the hallway or in your room? Where are you when you wait?
Just at the entrance to my room. I would just like to peer into my room and stare and watch and wait.
Nothing happens.
I'll wait another minute.
You hear some commotion on the stairs, but it's just, another patron coming up the stairs to go to their bedroom, and they go into their room, and you're still waiting.
Okay. Can I move down? I would like to go downstairs to the... is the bar still open? Are they still serving anything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I would like to go down, and I would like to purchase a drink of their darkest red wine.
Okay. They will sell you a glass of red wine for, 5 silver.
Okay. Hold on. I will subtract it from my sheet.
5 silver for a wine? Really? When the
Yeah.
room was 5 silver?
Yeah, because he
Nice
wanted
wine.
the darkest red wine, and you guys are kind of, fancy to begin with, but the nice red wine here comes from the Elven lands, and that shit is deep red and pricey as crap. It's
Can
like
I-
50 bucks a glass, it's pricey wine.
I would like to walk back upstairs outside of the in the hallway. I would like to be outside of Anton's room.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to douse myself with the red wine near my
You're gonna
midsection.
stain your clothes.
Yes, I would like to douse over my garments. I'm sure I should have some sleeping clothes on or something. No, or can I have like a sleeping outfit? Do I have a sleeping outfit?
Well, on your character sheet, how much weight of clothes do you carry?
We have noble clothing, which is supposed to be light, so only 2 pounds
2
or whatever.
pounds. Yeah, so you just got the one set of like nice silks that you wear, and if you douse it with wine, you're gonna stain the silks forever. You'll never get it out.
True. Okay. You know what? In that case, I'll set the wine aside. I can drink this later. I would like to don my hat of disguise, and I would like to look identical as to what I look now, except I would like to have my tunic look as though it is stained red with blood. I'd like to do that instead.
Oh yeah, it's bloodied.
Okay. Did I do that? Okay. I would like to pound on Anton's door and scream, "Brother, help! Brother, help!"
I mean, I'm rolling a perception check.
Yep.
Anton will get up and slowly walk to the door and open it.
As he opens it, I would like to fall into the room, searching for him. "Brother, I can't see. I was blinded immediately, and I think somebody came up and they stabbed me and they stole my coin purse. I need help. Can you cure me, please?" And I would like to roll over to my bloodied cloak as I roll on the floor in agony. I think the dagger may have been poisoned.
That's terrible. How are you blinded, I'll ask.
I don't know, brother. Please help. I'm losing blood.
I'll make a... So he's like the boy who cried wolf at this point, He's fucked with me so much. I don't even believe him. He got stabbed in here. I would have heard him yell.
That's true.
There was no cry of pain.
No cry of
from the
pain.
stab.
Nothing. Anton's actually just gonna kick him, tell him to get the fuck out. I don't know if I have to hit.
Yeah, I think he's lying on the ground.
Sure.
You can kick him. It's fine.
I'll kick him. Get out of here.
Okay. I'll stand up, laughing a little bit. And I'll give him the old... I'm watching him. And I'll leave the room, I'll close the door, and I'll open my room. I'll go to sleep.
Okay. Everyone goes to sleep. Everything's fine. I think here we will call it for today, but when we come back next session, it's just a simple trip to Roxas across the Hogwen Plains. Not a great distance, maybe 70 miles. You got to cross 1, maybe 2 rivers, depending on the route you take.
What was the beast called again? Maxis?
Wemix. They are the Leonin cousins to equine centaurs. They're something like this.
Ooh, beautiful. Nice.
Oh,
Wait, these are Minotaur people.
yeah, they might be hella indoor shit. All right. That's interesting.
Okay.
They're not minotaurs.
They're not minotaurs at all.
Wait, they're not Minotaurs?
There's,
I don't know,
there's a
like
difference
half
between
lion,
Minotaur and
half
Centaur,
man.
I guess.
They're human... They have human bodies and horse bodies.
No,
Human
that's
tops and
No,
horse...
no, it's lions.
Lion body mixed with human torso, but also like still lion-esque mane.
No, whatever.
Minotaur's full bull, Centaur's half.
They're all Minotaurs to me.
All the filthy minotaurs look the same.
Amen.
Well, we will call it for the day today. Did we have any questions, or did we have any things to get to before we wrap it up?
We don't do XP until we get back, so I don't.
Oh, do you have any questions or anything like that from the Patreon?
Oh, yeah, shit. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking of that. Oh, also, you had a good idea this time, Mr. Moon. I don't remember what it was, but you should write it down. Do you remember what it? Do you remember what it was? It was good enough that I was thinking about stealing it.
Dwarf, right?
What?
Was it bringing a dwarf with us?
No. Fuck. It was on the ship.
Oh, the paper for new ships, someone said?
Oh, it was getting the note from the lady so we could have safe passage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Write that down.
Safe.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen. If you like doing Patreon, obviously this isn't my highest viewership content, but it's a lot of fun. If you enjoy this and you like to support it, this stuff just makes it a little bit more financially viable for us. Here's the Patreon if you want to sign up. Love you very much. And then depending on your tier, you can submit questions if you want us to answer any questions between sessions. So I read those off now. Okay. The first one, we've got 4 questions today. Are there any other RPG systems other than D&D that you would like to play or DM? This isn't, it says question for all. So Koibu. Do you do like Shadowrun or anything like that, or no?
I don't care about rule sets all that much, and I found the one that I like, so I'm just happy to do this one until there's a reason to move on, which there probably never will be. Second edition for life.
True.
Okay. Do you think they could ever make a new edition of D&D that brings back some of the gritty nittiness of 2E that can maintain?
Oh, totally. Yeah, maybe 6th edition is going to be bomb, and I'll eat these words.
Okay, cool. Just great.
I doubt it.
I'm just gonna move in order of the cameras. I've only ever played D&D. Other things sound interesting, but I mean, like, I don't think personally right now there's anything that I like super hate about 2E. Maybe I just don't have experience, so I can't really say. There might be some other system that's like, wow, this is way better, but I haven't seen it yet. And yeah, this is fine. This seems to be a good vehicle for what I enjoy doing. Nick.
Loved second edition D&D. The only other system that I've really enjoyed playing, and I think is different enough to be interesting as an aside to 2E, is Call of Cthulhu, which is more like, it's less combat, it's more sort of like investigatory, and it's kind of set in like the 1920s. It's just kind of like a different type of game, more of a horror spin. It's cool.
Okay, and then Muda Cakes.
I guess I would want to try the Pathfinder stuff eventually. I've always heard that that's pretty good. That's probably about it. I really like second edition though. I think it's really good.
Okay. Second question is, does anyone in the party have predispositions against groups of people, like sailors or elves or something, due to personal history?
My character against dragons, I guess fire as well. Other than that, no, he's pretty chill with everybody. Maybe vampires now.
Nick?
Nah, not really. I mean, Emmerich like, I don't know if you really have this in America, but he's kind of like a rich English person. He goes to all the fancy parties. He knows all the rich people. He doesn't really have any ill will towards the poor people, but he doesn't really consider them necessarily the same.
Yeah, I kind of feel like usually you introduce like hatred towards certain groups of people are usually introduced in some kind of tragic backstory generally, and we're all kind of like middle class, or not, I'm sorry, we're like upper class noble people, so it's kind of hard to have been like super fucked over by some group. Like, it's not like our family was killed or we were abandoned or any crazy things. So yeah, I can't think of any for my character right now. This is probably a wasted question, but this is a question for Koibu. Did the brothers actually kill all of the vampires?
100% all dead. Don't even worry about it, guys. You got him. You got him. Woo!
Okay, and then question for cast. What aspect of D&D do you enjoy the most? The combat, the role-playing, the heist, or the dungeon crawling, etc.? I'll just go clockwise again or whatever. Koibu.
When you play a lot of D&D, what really is the most fun is exploring the mind and motivation of the other player characters with you, or the other players, and trying to like be able to lay out a hint for them and see if they take it up or how they might take it, or to be able to lay a trap and see if they can navigate it. There's like a bunch of subtle, like upper level meta games that are being played, and it's the meta games above the actual game that I really, really enjoy. The actual game is just like a vehicle to play the meta games.
Do you mean like when we all three split up and then they all had like a rider running past us and you go to like, all right, Mooten, what do? I attack it. The other two just like leave it, or Do you mean like?
Yeah, or from today's session when you're like, I'm gonna cast Dictate on them, and I'm like, well, she's surrendering. You're like, I'm gonna cast Dictate. For the fun part of that for me was like, well, let's go through step by step and make each time I say something, I'm gonna make it more and more awkward or difficult for Mutin to cast that Dictate spell, and then seeing you like grit your face and be like, fuck it, I'm casting it anyway, and then like prompting Tyrael and prompting Imric with specific phrasing to try and push them to like stand the combat down.
Yeah.
You know, it's those sort of like meta games that you might not even realize are being played if you're just watching casually that I enjoy.
Very cool.
Okay. I think I probably enjoy like planning heists. Is like really fun, like the Ocean's 11 aspect of the game. I think it'd be especially if we have like a lot of different tools in play and like everything goes off well. I think it's like pretty exciting. Also like the rare like the nat 20s and the nat 1s in combat that can change things can also be like really fun sometimes, although a little bit more RNG-ish based, but yeah. Nick.
You definitely need a little bit of all 4 elements, right? I think like the times when I enjoy playing D&D the most, so I want to answer role playing, but it's not just like your average encounter. It's like when you've been playing this campaign for a year, maybe even like a year and a half, 2 years, and you're so invested in the story that like you'll be in like a life or death situation, and you really, I mean, it's not like you're really there, but you really feel like the tension and the like you need to make the right decision. You can't fuck this up, and like that's like a feeling like you don't get in any other game or like anything outside like real life, I'd say. So that's what I really like about it.
All right, and Moody Cakes.
Big fan of the role playing. Probably, I really like the combat. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the combat. I sometimes think that people can go like too much with the combat, but I think we have like a really good balance here of role playing and combat aspect of it, which is nice.
Okay, cool. Today we rolled in, what's his name, Lazar?
Lazar, yeah.
Lazar? Oh, yeah. If you sign up for the Patreon, you can also suggest like names of like weapons or families and stuff like that. And I think Lazar was one of the suggested ones. So whoever you were, congratulations. You got your duder in. And
Misha, Lazar, Thorin, and Karsa are all names from patrons.
A lot of them.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, but I think that's all we got. We should be back at the normal time next time. I don't think, as long as the United States is still standing, everything should be fine. Yeah. So thanks a lot for joining us. We'll be back same time next week. It's been fun. We will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.